What's up, everyone? This is another day, 0 to 1 billion. Today's video, we're actually doing something different. I have Ollie on the call with me. If you don't know Ollie, he's also another person who documents himself every single day, recording what he does. I'm doing 0 to 1 billion, but his channel, he's actually doing 0 to 10K, and he's been doing it for over 100 days. So we're right around the similar time when we started, and our channels are right about the same sizes as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about Ollie. Ollie wants to say,
Yeah.
Ollie, go ahead, say hi real quick.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Me and Meckdad, obviously, we've been talking for a while, and I'm glad that we finally got this sorted. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty mad that we're both like 5 days apart. Doing. I think you're on what day 108, 109 or something.
Yeah, 109.
100. He's on day 109. I'm on day. This is my day 103. So hello to everyone watching this on my channel. This is going to be uploaded to both of our channels, but yeah, we just thought it'd be good to converse with one another, ask a few questions, and yeah, so
Yeah, so to everyone on Ollie's channel, my name is Meckdad. It's a weird name, but that's my channel's name, just Meckdad, Meckdad. And my business model, we're going 0 to 1 billion, not 1 billion a month. We're doing 0 to 1 billion, and the business model is actually M&A, private equity, and some people call it QLA. So that's the business model. You basically buy businesses using leverage, aka like debt. It's a leverage buyout. It's existed for a long time, and that's basically what I'm working on. I'm working on deal flow, board of directors, financing, things of that nature. A lot of sales. So there's a lot of similar topics between us that we could talk about.
yeah.
But that's a little bit about myself. Ollie, I'm curious, man. Like, this might be a bad question, but what is your business model? Like, what do you work on every day?
So my day to day kind of life is it's kind of split between two things. It's split between two agencies. So there's an agency that I've run with two other colleagues for like 4 years now, and that's been my kind of like steady income for the last few years. But because there's so many people that we need to kind of pay, yeah, you've got to be making like crazy profits for everyone to get paid, right? So you've got to be closing like a certain amount of deals. So I obviously do that, and with that we offer like short form content, long form content, everything that like an influencer needs. We kind of run. So we work with influencers like Ryan Trahan, Houston Jones, Jordan Tooley, Thogden. Just like that's a few four names off the top of my head, but yeah, we work with like. Sorry.
Real quick. If people don't know, Ryan Trahan, he has like 14 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Ollie, you make like short clips for him, right? You make,
Yeah,
like, short
yeah.
videos.
So if you go onto his, yeah, well, I'm not the editor, but we hire an editor to edit for him. And yeah, if you go onto his channel, every single short form video that is done was, that was via me. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I gotta say. But yeah, so that's one business I'm doing, but the kind of one that so that's like my steady income. But to get myself to 10K a month and beyond, it's something that I'm kind of doing on my own, but with my experience working with influencers and creators, I know exactly how creators work. I know exactly how their audiences work. And there's this new kind of business model that I imagine some people have heard of. It's called growth operating, but it's, long story short, you work with the creator and you then leverage their audience to create a paid community with their audience. So as long as it's creator providing value to their audience, you can sell it, whether it be fitness or parenting or just any niche, right? And say you get like 1,000 people from their audience of 100,000 people, so that's 1% thereabouts. You get 1,000 people paying, say, even $10 a month. That's £10,000 a month that the creator didn't have already. So it's a pretty easy thing to sell. It's just getting onto a call and selling it. So that's kind of what I'm doing to get to 10K a month. So
I've heard of that business model. I've heard of it. It's kind of similar to the people who partner with creators to do like an e-commerce brand, like whether it's merch or whatever products. It's similar to that, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I heard that industry is really good. Like, it makes a lot of money. I heard there's a lot of scamming in that industry too.
Yeah,
true?
I mean, there's you probably just heard like random people who just like run courses and want to just.
No, I'm not saying like people. I'm saying like partners ripping each other off.
Oh yeah. No, I think it kind of goes with every industry, right? Like there's people that just kind of like scam everywhere, but especially in like the influencer like niche and all that, everyone's kind of like young and naive, so everyone's just trying to get that every little bit of money that they can get. So yeah, it's quite easy to just like kind of get fucked there. But yeah.
So why did you pick that to make 10K a month? Like why not e-commerce? Because they're very almost identical kind of like concepts.
So
What do you think about that side?
in regards to e-commerce, you mean like drop shipping and stuff, or making
No,
my
I'm
own?
saying like working with influencers to create
Oh.
e-commerce brands.
So I think e-commerce brands are decent, like merch and or just anything to do with their brand or something that they can promote. I think that would be good, and I think it's relatively untapped. So that could be something that I could actually go into. So that is a good point. But I think right now the most the most leverageable thing is their audience, and the best way to leverage that is a community. Like there's relatively low like kind of overheads with everything, and then they're paying it every month. It's not like they buy a hat and then that's it, right? They're paying every month as long as you're providing decent value to them. So you've got to know the audience, and then you can kind of sell everything there. But it's consistent as long as you know how to market it. I think it's good. But yeah. I do want to ask you a question though. What's your kind of day to day life like? What kind of goes in that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So me right now, I have a lot of things I need to pay for. So I have a job. I have a sales job. So my days mix between my offense and defense is what I call it on my channel.
Yeah.
Still with me?
Yeah. I'm here.
My camera cut off.
All right. You're good.
Yeah, so my offense and defense. So defense is the job I have basically. Offense is
Yeah.
the work I do on my business, and after that I have the gym, or I actually go to a boxing gym. So I try to find time for that, and then beyond that, it's really social life, whether it's my family or people I talk to. But I really don't have time aside from that, if I'm being honest. I struggle to even manage those three alone.
So your sales job, what does that kind of consist of? Is that like you get given calls and you just take them and you just try and close as many as you can, or how does that
No,
work?
I work at a store.
Okay.
It's like construction sales.
Okay.
So you work with like insurance and things of that nature for big construction jobs.
Is that commission based, or how does that work?
Yeah, commission based.
Is it commission only, or do you get a salary too?
Oh, it's commission only.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I've done sales for a while. I've been doing it for like 4 years.
Mhm.
I did it in the car industry. I did it in telecommunications, real estate, and now construction. So
Okay.
I've been in sales for a minute.
I think, in all honesty, I think sales is like, if you could just like fuck off every other skill and just have one skill, I think sales is the one skill that you want to have. Like, because like you go broke, you can just get a sales job with anyone and you can just make money back, right? Whereas, because I feel like a lot of people just don't have that like kind of knowledge, and they just think, I don't really know, but yeah, I think
I agree
sales
with
is
you.
like crazy valuable.
Yeah, I heard someone say this one time. Greatest skill in the world is raising money,
Yeah.
which basically is just highest level of sales.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause if you're good at sales, it means that you'll have the capability, like the skill, to raise money.
Yeah.
And therefore, you have the greatest skill in the world.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, sales on the highest level is the finance game that I'm playing. Basically, it's all just sales.
Yeah. Is you work with like you try and invest in companies with leverage on debt, right? So you go into debt, but you invest that debt into something that you're like 99% sure will make a return, right? So
Yeah.
how does that
Very business model, man.
so for everyone on my channel, I think a lot of my channel's viewers, I think my demographic is 18 to 25, and that's my major one, and then after that I think it's 26 to about 34 or something like that. So for people that don't know on my channel yeah. For people on my channel that,
how does it work?
yeah, explain to all of my viewers how your business model works.
So a lot of people don't know how selling a business works. Like what's the process of that? Let's say Ollie has a great agency and he wants to sell it. How does that even look like? You know, that's when you can make money.
Yeah.
You sell off a business, right? That's the goal that everyone's like achieving or like striving for. Like, hey, let's get to this point, right? What happens at that point? That's the real question. So it depends on how big of a business you have, right? So if your business is small in the finance world, anything under $20 million in valuation is small.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of companies wouldn't even consider buying a business that's less than $20 million, for example, right?
Yeah.
So these small businesses that are small to me, that's not small. So that could change my life, right?
Yeah.
All these businesses that are considered small don't have a lot of buyers. There's not a lot of people trying to buy these smaller businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and I'm finding these businesses in a certain industry, certain sector of an industry, and I'm reaching out to business owners that are of a certain size. And I'm offering them an exit. I'm telling them, hey, look, I'm looking to buy your business. Are you
Mm-hmm.
interested in an exit? Are you interested in a growth partner? Right? And every business owner has thought about, hey, like, what's it going to look like when I sell my business? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Especially these business owners that are older, that are looking to retire, and a lot of them don't have an exit plan. There's a whole generation that's basically retiring, the baby boomers. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've heard of that trend.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a lot of money transferring between that generation to the new generation. It's about $7 trillion being transferred between the generations. So there's a lot of people retiring. So a lot of people looking to sell their business.
Mm-hmm.
There's not as many buyers for the smaller businesses. Right?
Yeah.
That creates opportunity. Everyone's like, hey, look, let me invest in real estate, but they don't understand that real estate is an asset, but what's also an asset is a business. That's also an asset. But no one ever thinks, hey, let me go buy dentist clinics. Think, hey, let me go
Yeah.
buy
The
real
boring
estate
stuff.
company.
I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
When people think of like business models, they're like, okay, I'm going to start an agency. What's got the most money? What do I hear has got the most money? Okay, real estate, because that's the big houses, all these houses. They're gonna go. No one thinks about just go working with dentists, right? So yeah,
Here,
I
look,
completely get that.
let's say agencies, for example. Let's say agencies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanna create an agency. Why would I want to start something from scratch when the market is already influxed with so many other businesses? Like, does the market really need another agency in the world? How about this? How about instead of creating an agency, I go ahead and I buy an agency? I have a friend right now who's actually buying an agency, and there's NDAs and stuff, so I'm never gonna talk about the details. I'm just saying as a concept, right? So
Yeah.
when you buy a business, let's say the business is making 600K in profit every year.
Yeah.
You could verify these numbers. Some businesses have existed for 20 years doing the same numbers. You know what I mean? So more than likely, the next 3 years, they're going to be doing the same numbers. So you're buying a business that makes 600K in profit. It takes you a couple months to buy it, maybe a year, but you don't know how long it took that guy to actually build it from scratch, and you don't know how much money he spent to actually build it from scratch. So you're basically compressing 20 years in 1 year to buy it. But the real question is, hey, how do you raise the finance, right? Like, how do you buy the business? So back to the idea of a small business. So I'm not just yapping. I'm getting to the point.
But so wait, hold on. So what's the kind of like? I don't know if you were going to get to this, but what kind of price are we talking about when you're buying a business that you're kind of
There
going
you
into
go.
buying?
That's the next question, right? That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm getting to. That's a good question. So smaller businesses, the way they sell is whoever's buying it is going to do an audit, or they're going to do due diligence, and they're going to find out the real profit numbers on your business.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say they find out that your business makes $500,000 a year in profit. Me, as the person trying to buy it, I'm not going to offer you any more than 3 times as a multiple. So you'll take the profit and you'll multiply it times 3.
Yeah.
So that's 1.5 million for your business, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when they're smaller than 500,000, they sell for even less, because it's actually more risky to buy a smaller business.
Yeah.
It's more likely to fail because it's relying more on the owner. You want to buy a business that isn't fully reliant on the owner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
There's a lot of them out there that are like that. You'd be surprised.
When you say the owner, you mean like the owner's like reputation and stuff like that. And if they were to go,
Yeah, like his relationships.
yeah.
Maybe he's running the day to day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. Like, when people think of businesses, they're like, hey, let me become a drop shipper and I'm going to make 10K a day or whatever. But when you're out of the business, is it still running? Because a business is not you. A business is a box, and you're like not in the box. You're creating the box. You know what I mean? So that way you could sell it. If it's not sellable to someone else, then it's not a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's just self-employed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to buy your business, I'm gonna look at how reliant it is on you. If it's too reliant, I'm not gonna buy it
Yeah.
because I'm in the driver's seat, right? But I'll offer you a 3 times multiple, right? Anywhere within the 20 million range, you could find businesses being sold for times 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's typically how it's sold, right? But to the point of, hey, how am I a person that is starting from scratch? How are you gonna buy a business? The way it works is you use seller finance, but you don't have to use the whole entire price point as seller finance, right? I don't know if do you know what seller finance is, or how much do you know about it?
Pretty vague. It's probably best if you
Yeah,
explain it anyway because of the
yeah,
viewers
yeah.
and stuff.
I was just curious, but
Yeah.
basically seller finance is, instead of me getting the financing from the bank, I'll owe it to the owner. So let's say you're an owner and you have an agency. I offer you 1.5 million for half a million profit a year, right? I'll tell you, hey, look, I'm gonna offer you 1.5 million, but I only want to buy 60% of your business at close, and I want you to
Okay.
hang on to the other 40%, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll say, hey, look, man, I'm getting 60% of 1.5 million. I'm getting a bag, like I'm
Yeah.
down. Uh, you make a deal on the rest of it. Hey, I'll pay you over the next 10 years or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of ways you could structure it. I'm gonna go to the bank and I'm gonna tell the bank, hey, look, I'm looking to buy this business. What do you think of this business? How much can you offer me on this business? So if it's a good deal, banks, especially with different types of loans, they'll offer you somewhere around 80%. It's kind of like buying a house.
Yeah.
When you buy a house, you put 20% down, the bank gives you 80%. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of me coming up with the 20% cash myself, I asked the owner to hang on to 20%, and I used the 80 from the bank to actually pay it off, like to structure the
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. And
That's
yeah.
that's that's a leverage buyout, and
And
that's
yeah.
existed. That's existed since John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie. So since the beginning of America, that's always been around.
Yeah. I to be honest, I'm not too knowledgeable on both of those. I know both of them. I think didn't one of them. This could like maybe look like a fucking idiot, but didn't one of them own Ford, or is that someone else? I think
No, no, that's Henry Ford.
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, I look like an idiot. But what I was getting at is I read this book and they were going over Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, and Henry Ford, and they were it was something to do with a conference about how these guys like came from nothing and then
Yeah,
use
what's
leverage
crazy?
and all this stuff to yeah.
Yeah. So to your point about John D. Rockefeller, and you'll see this as a common theme amongst all rich people. No rich people start things from scratch. They just buy businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't even buy it with their own money. They'll use the bank and they'll use some seller finance, or they'll raise the equity from private investors and use the bank.
Yeah.
They'll never spend their own money.
Yeah.
See what I'm
It's like
saying?
rich dad poor dad, right? That's like what he preaches the whole book. I mean, I read it like 3 years ago, but that's kind of like his thing. You like go into debt and you use debt as leverage.
Because there's different kinds of debt. There's
Yeah.
credit card debt, and then there's actually good beneficial kinds of debt.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, look, if I buy your business for 500K and in your business bank account you have 800K, is that good debt or is that bad debt?
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
If I buy your business for $500,000,
Yep.
but I'm getting the 500,000 from the bank,
Yeah.
right? Whatever your business model is, right? If I buy your business and it has $800,000 in the bank account of the business
Yeah. That's of course. Yeah. Of course that's good
alone.
debt. Of course that's good debt.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so if you're just gonna avoid debt, you won't look at those kind of opportunities. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? There
Mm-hmm.
are opportunities like that out there. They're very rare, and you need great connections, and you need to be in the country
Yeah.
club, but they do exist.
Country club. Yeah. I think there's so much like a stigma around debt. Like it's a bad thing, and that you should never go into debt.
It is
'Cause-
a bad thing.
yeah. It's a bad thing if you don't know how to use it, right? But if you know how to
It
use
is a
it,
bad thing, yeah.
yeah.
You don't know how to use it, yeah. So John D. Rockefeller, what he would do when he buys these businesses, sometimes there's ways to buy a business even when the owner doesn't want to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what John D. Rockefeller, he was such an entrepreneur, such a capitalist. He literally used the full thing to his advantage. Like he would go to his competitors and tell his competitors, "Hey, look, I want to buy you out," and they would tell him to f off. Like, "Hey, I don't want to buy. I don't want you. I don't want to sell my business to you. Like, no, get out of here." So John D. Rockefeller would literally buy up the businesses around that one as competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he would lower his prices and he would negotiate with suppliers to raise that person's price up. So, hey, look, I'll give you more money, but instead of lowering it for myself, I want you to raise it for him.
Yeah.
So he would do different contracts, different agreements to have that business that he wants to buy almost go to zero. And the only person they can sell to is John D. Rockefeller. He would buy it and then boost the prices back up.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was his like? What was his niche initially? Because obviously, I imagine he expanded. But what did he start with?
Yeah, he has a very interesting story. He started off. He was in the oil and gas industry, but he used the
Yeah.
no. But here's the interesting part. He used the sell the shovel method. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like there's a gold rush in California, right? Back in like the 1800s.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to California.
Yeah.
But instead of me going to California and actually getting the gold, I'm gonna sell you the shovel.
Yeah.
Go get the gold. It's kind of like that with I see that with agencies as well, but we could get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But he used that because instead of selling oil and gas and actually going and digging and mining for it, he would own the oil refineries.
Yeah. The equipment. Yeah.
Exactly. If you get the oil, you're gonna have to come through me because I'm the shovel. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Smart. I can't remember where I first heard about that. I think it was like, honestly, it's gonna sound dumb, but I think I heard about it in school. Like ages ago, and I've just kind of like stuck with it ever since. And you want to be the person that's providing, like, getting the person from their some like current situation to the desired situation, and you've got to be that person that gets them to that place, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of see that with agencies, and I'm not even gonna try to say this to like offend you. Like I don't mean to offend anyone in any way, right? But truly. That is like agencies nowadays because Iman Ghazi and all these people that are selling courses, they are the shovel for the gold, which is agencies. Everyone's trying to start an agency. You're competing with people all the way to like India. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
so
Indians.
It's backwards because these guys are being the shovel to the agencies, and these people are trying to get the agencies as the shovel to
exactly.
Right?
They're
Yeah.
on the course, it's the shovel. They're not in it, but they're next to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They've got like they've literally maximized their they've done their personal branding to which the audience that they've gained they can then sell to perfectly with like the reputation that they have, and they're literally providing the dream outcome to these like little naive kids. And I mean, like Iman Ghazi and all these like influencers are just profiting off it. So it goes back to that thing that you said before of like kind of like scamming almost, that people are just trying to like get money. And whether the course is good or not, I mean, like the course has just got a bad name at the moment. Like even it could be the best course in the world, but everyone just thinks you're a sellout because you're selling a course, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Can't agree more. Have you ever bought a course before?
The only course I bought, in all honesty, it's gonna sound so dumb, was a language learning course, and it was like £100 like 3 years ago in COVID because I wanted to learn French. That's as far as it's gone. I've never spent like 3 bags on an Iman Ghazi SMMA course.
So you were trying to get the French chicks, huh?
Yeah. I mean, mate,
we all know how to
I'm in England. It's just like what 20 miles across, and I'm there, man. Fuck the English chicks, bro. They're all. I mean, I don't even need to get into that. Yeah. I think it's
back to the course idea. I dropped out of school, and I actually spent 10 grand on courses. And let me tell you this: courses are a scam. I'll tell you why. It doesn't matter if it actually gives you value. The fact is, it's just videos. Like, let me tell you this: when you see a course being sold for $20,000, right?
Yeah.
When you see it over here for free, you know this is a scam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking at courses that I could have spent $20,000 on, but then I still got it off the internet for free. How is that not a scam?
Yeah.
It's just videos.
It's just that's the craziest.
Online for free. Just look.
Like, if you've got credibility, you can sell anything. Like, it could be the shittest thing in the world, but you can sell like anything.
It's so crazy to me that people don't know that though. Like, I'm not saying it's online for free as in like someone else is doing it on YouTube. I'm saying it's literally the same one you wanted to see is online for free. The same one.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I know, it's mad. Like what you mean? Like someone's just like downloaded it and then put it somewhere else, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I've done that before. My friend gave me one of those before. So.
Yeah. And that one's very hush hush, you know. Like all these people that sell the courses, they'll go over there and It reminds me of a lot of other things that I probably won't talk about, but it's like the big tyrant, like putting the little guy and like hushing him up.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say? My friend has bought. I think he had like he got into NFTs and then that kind of like fell off because obviously NFTs are doing shit now. I mean, I literally bought an NFT for $1,000 and now it's worth $13. So yeah, I got a bit fucked there. I mean, that was just like my
You paid $1,000
naivety.
for an NFT?
Yeah. That was like what 2 years ago, mate. I was so like naive and fucking stupid. I just wanted it
Dude,
for
I
my
lost money on NFTs too, but I also made a bit of money.
bro. I wanted it to be my Twitter profile picture, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just buy this one. It was just rare. It had like some 1% stuff on it, and then yeah.
Yeah. I never use Twitter, by the way. I don't really get it.
Twitter's like the best social media platform, man.
It's basically
it's
the
so
internet,
good.
but like I just don't use it.
Yeah, you need. I say you need to. It's so easy to get addicted to it, so maybe don't. But
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what's crazy is whenever I hear people talk about, oh, like I need to get off my phone, like it's bad for my mental health. They're always talking about Twitter.
yeah,
They're not talking
yeah,
about TikTok or maybe a bit of Instagram, but they're not talking about YouTube. They're only talking about Twitter.
yeah. Twitter's yeah. Like unless you intend to do something productive with Twitter, like you want to build a personal brand and start like writing tweets about certain stuff. If you're not on it already, it's just like there's no point, man. Like I do outreach on Twitter, so it kind of there's an ROI on it for me there. But like it's so easy to just get addicted to it, man. It's that it is like the epitome of social media addiction, 100%.
Yeah, I'd say I agree as well.
Yeah.
I've seen your videos. Excuse me. You talked a lot about like dopamine detox and like getting off your phone, like, things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being productive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. Do you think that if do you think you do that because of Twitter, or is it more than Twitter?
What you mean, like get distracted and all this stuff because of Twitter?
Yeah, like dopamine detox. Like, do you think you even like care about that? Do you even do that just because of Twitter, or is it because of other things? Does that make sense, or
What you mean? Do that because Twitter's told me that I should do a dopamine detox, or
no?
because Twitter's the problem?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think Twitter's my main issue because like I wouldn't say I'm addicted to my phone. I don't feel any inclination to ever go on my phone really. But when I'm working on a task, like I say this in my YouTube videos all the time, but when I'm working on like writing a doc or writing some cold DM scripts or writing a YouTube script or whatever it is that I'm doing, I'll write it and then I'll hit that little period of like, okay, shit, I don't know how to finish this sentence. I'm writing a sentence, I'm like, I don't know what to write here. This is difficult. And then my instinctive, like subconscious reaction is I'll just go and add a new tab and I'll just go on Twitter because I don't want to face that problem head on. And I've realized that is my problem because I'm always like, I'll get into these situations and then I'll avoid them, and it ends up making something that should take me an hour to do like 4 hours because I'm like constantly getting distracted on Twitter or whatever. So I think, in all honesty, I think dopamine detoxes are kind of approached wrong. And they're almost a bit like zesty, and they're like, people just want to be like cool doing a dopamine detox, right? So like that's the issue with them. But if you actually know how to do it, then I think it's an absolute game changer because I say this all the time, but if you've got like the fattest guy in the world, and then you say to him, go and eat salad, go and eat like a healthy diet for a day, and that's going to change your life. It's not going to work. And most of these guys like Meckdad or whatever, they'll make a YouTube video saying do a 24-hour dopamine detox, it's going to change your life. It's the same kind of idea. You do it for 24 hours, you're just going to go back into your old habits, right? So you kind of need to make it a way of life almost, and go about it like as if it's kind of like your identity, because otherwise you're just going to get stuck in those old habits again. You'll be writing stuff and it's going to take you 10 times longer than it should do. And yeah, so as I say, I think dopamine detox like as a whole is kind of like, I think the best way to summarize it is zesty. It's just fucking zesty, to be honest. But
I agree.
As long as you know like why you're doing it, and if there's actually a reason why you're doing it, rather than to just say, oh yeah, I'm going to do a dopamine detox, then I think it's good. So
Yeah, it's kind of like the people that say like, hey, I want to lose fat, but I can't lose fat, like, but like it really just comes down to you not putting food in your mouth and running outside. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
Same thing, man.
Yeah.
I find it very annoying because all the small channels they always get a lot of views by talking about it, but
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's really dumb.
yeah, it is zesty, but I mean, my main, like, I say this in my videos because it's like my day-to-day life, right? They need to, like, I kind of just say what's going on and what my issues are and what I need to fix. And my main issue is I'll be doing a task, and because I don't know what to write, or I get stressed, anxious, or bored, which is like the kind of term for it all. Like, I don't know how to finish it, and I'll just go on Twitter or whatever. No, you're good, you're good, you're good. My day-to-day, to be honest, I always... Like, my main issue is I always say that I need to sort my schedule out, and I never do. But then again, I don't think schedule is that important. It's just what you do with the time that you have awake, and if you can use your time intentionally and do things that actually are productive. So my day-to-day consists of client fulfillment with short form content. So obviously Ryan and all the guys there, and making sure we fulfill the best results that we can do there. And yeah, I go to the gym like 5-6 times a week. So I did that today. And then after that, it's doing 20% of the things that bring you 80% of the results in regards to my new agency and my new endeavor, which is doing the things with creators. So that right now for me is outreach. So it's literally like my day is right now, it's fulfillment, outreach, and then sometimes I write a YouTube script and sometimes I write a newsletter, and that is my day to day really.
Yeah. So like the agency with Ryan, Trahan, and all the YouTubers, does that give you enough money to like pay for rent and stuff, or like
Yeah.
you have like another job too, or like how does that work?
So no, so I've been lucky. I've never actually had a job ever, like an actual job. So I'm 20 now, and I started working with Fortnite pros when I was 15 because I uploaded my own YouTube videos and Instagram highlights. So they messaged me and said, "Can I work with you?" And then ever since then, I've just been working with like creators, whether they be Fortnite pros, whether they be YouTubers or whatever. And now I'm working with all of these creators, and don't get me wrong, it's a decent wage. It keeps me afloat. It's like, it's enough to pay rent. It's enough to kind of keep me above water, but it's not to the extent like that I want to be at or I aspire to be at. And I see all these guys the same age as me achieving, and I know exactly how they're doing it and what they're doing to get there, but I'm not there. So I want so much more, but yeah, it's enough to keep me afloat, and I'm quite lucky because I get to use my time how I want to use it. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
What kind of outreach do you do, and like what outreach did you do for the YouTubers like Ryan Trahans of the world and all of them? Like, how did you outreach them?
So I mean, for working with influencers, there's ways of doing it, and the best ways of that is emails and DMs. But the thing with the emails is you don't stand out from the crowd most of the time if you're sending an email, unless you're doing something crazy, like you've got a crazy VSL or you've got like just an email that's really well formatted. You don't have any like person associated with that random email that someone's just got. So working with influencers, they want social proof more than anyone to an extent, because they've got all of these people that they know through their network or through Twitter or through Instagram that do the services that I'm trying to get them to do. So if you're outreaching via email, it has nowhere near the amount of results as something like cold DM does, when you've actually got a persona and a profile associated with the message that's getting sent to them. So we tried email, and it's not very, like, don't get me wrong, it works, but the ratio of how many emails you need to send to actually get a sale is like so much higher than DMs. So yeah,
what are the numbers?
So from what I can remember, we sent about 3,500 emails, to which I think we got on call. Like there's a lot of variables that go into this, like whether the email was good or whatever. But I think we got around like 30 calls from those 3,500 emails, which is like, it's not bad, but like it's pretty shit in all honesty. I mean, that's like, it's like one call for every what, 100 and something. So it's not that bad in hindsight, but like DMs is like, if you've got a decent personal brand behind the DMs that you're sending, and you've paid for verification, which is like, I've got it on Instagram and Twitter, and like you've got to face your brand rather than just doing it faceless. There's so much more trust there. And yeah, if you're just sending a shit ton of DMs, I got replies from like like crazy. I've literally been on. I don't know if you know FaZe Rain. I've been on calls with him. I've been on calls with Ryan. I've been on calls with Houston, Dogden. Of course, we've closed them, and yeah, DMs. Like, if you've got a personal brand behind your like the message that you're sending, the way that you're outreaching, it's like the amount of leverage you have with that is crazy. So yeah, the numbers on Twitter and Twitter especially with creators, but the numbers on Twitter compared to email is like almost double as good. So like you're getting 2 times the amount of replies for the same amount of contacts that you're sending out. So yeah,
So
yeah,
you
it's
do
crazy.
like Twitter DM?
Yeah, Twitter, yeah.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I do Instagram and Twitter, but Twitter seems to work the best because I think all of the naive kids that want to get into it, they do it on Instagram because everyone uses Instagram, right? Whereas Twitter, like not that many, it's not as saturated. And if you've got a decent brand behind behind the message that's getting sent to them, they're like, okay, this guy's actually knows what he's doing. And then when it comes up with mutual followers as well, even better. So
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of like LinkedIn.
yeah,
LinkedIn's
yeah.
a bit like that. It sounds like.
Yeah, but
one
LinkedIn's all
factor-
tryhard though. LinkedIn's all tryhard. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe in the influencer space, but in a lot of other spaces, LinkedIn is like really the way to go.
Hmm. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn? I haven't actually. I don't really use it that much, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I understand. If I was doing what you were doing, I probably wouldn't use it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But Phantom Buster, I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
I think they use AI too, where they like personalize the messages, but it sends out messages for you. Something like that.
On Twitter and Instagram, you mean? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard of that. There was another thing called Drippy AI or something. It's kind of like the same thing, I imagine.
Yeah, they're selling the shovels for sure.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, if you want to start the new business model, like this thing's come in, like the thing that I'm doing now. If you want to start the business model, you see what people want, and you see where they're at, and you see all of these. For example, SMMA, you see that all of these like random kids, they want to make a shit ton of money online. Okay, I'm going to provide them the shovel to get there. So if you can provide them, like look for where the money's kind of going and get yourself be the middleman of that, that's kind of where you're going to make the money, right? So yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, like shovels are crazy if you know how to like set it up and market it and get it in front of as many people as you can.
Yeah. There's a lot of ideas that come to my mind when you say that. But that's crazy. You've never had a job, you said.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky, man.
That is insane, man.
Yeah, I've done 1 8-hour shift, and it was my mum's friend who said I need to do this thing on the computer, and it was the like deleting a load of old files, but they needed the human to go through it all, and that's as far as my career has gone in regards to a job. So yeah, we'll see.
How did that? So you didn't go to school?
Yeah, I went to school. Yeah, I went to school, of course.
Oh, no, I'm talking about like college. Like,
Oh no. So I'm 20 now. So I finished. It's crazy. Like I finished school at 18, and it was during COVID. So like I didn't even have to do my final exams during that year. They were all just teacher assessed on like how good you were at whatever it was that you were doing. And yeah, at that point I was signed to, I think it was Fnatic, and I was working with Sony Music at the time. And at that point I think I was 18, and I was making like 4K a month thereabouts. From it varied, right? It wasn't consistent. I got my consistent revenue from Fnatic, but it was just with random companies and random influencers that I was working with. But I was making a lot of money for my age, and I just knew that I kind of, because once you get your feet wet, like you're never going to be content doing anything else, right? So it's that kind of same
sense.
kind of idea.
So do you face a lot of with the series you have going on? I don't know if you live with your family at all. Like, does anyone live with you or no?
Yeah.
So do you ever face like scrutiny from your family? Do they tell you anything about what you're doing? Like, do they ever say like, "Hey, go get a job"? Like, what are you doing? Like, I've seen your videos. Don't say this or that.
No, honestly, I'm so fucking lucky. I don't think they've ever really kind of said this to me. I think my mum's kind of switched on to the fact that university isn't actually that valuable nowadays. Like she knows, she gets it, right? She gets it. I think I kind of like articulated it to her pretty well, but I think she just kind of gets it because everyone's got a degree nowadays. So unless you're doing something that's like high profile that you actually need it for, like to be a doctor, because I don't want if I'm getting my heart removed or like some like bones taken out or whatever, maybe not heart removed or like I don't want some random fuck off the street who hasn't got a degree to do that for me, you know. So of course you need a degree for something like that. Yeah. Learn off fucking YouTube. Yeah, or buy a fucking course off Iman Gadzhi on how to do that shit. But yeah, I think my mum's pretty switched onto it, so I'm very lucky for that. I think even my dad is. He kind of like understands it now. He's been the one that guy that says, yeah, Ollie, I want you to get a degree. But even he says that, right? But he's got a degree in photography, and I don't know where in life he's ever done anything to do with photography. So yeah, I think if you've learned skills that are going to last you for life, whether it be sales, marketing, or just like anything in general within like how a business works, you're always going to be able to get a job here and there, and you can just go from there on. So you can almost give yourself a degree if you've actually got the determination to get a portfolio of work or like knowledge and proof that you are who you say you are. So yeah, and I think one more thing that I'll add to that. Sorry,
go ahead.
I think obviously I'm an employer myself to an extent, but employers, they don't, almost nowadays they look for people who are kind of like forward thinking. It depends on the job, right? But they're looking for someone who's forward thinking that isn't just cookie cutter like everyone else, because they know these guys have gone to university, they're getting drunk every fucking like day. They're just doing university to get the degree, but are they actually like, do they want the job that they're trying to get, or are they just trying to get the job to get paid, you know? Like, are they actually interested? All these guys are just kind of like going to university and everyone's kind of like the same. They want someone that stands out, someone that thinks for themselves, that's going to take the company forward. So unless you're getting a degree to do a job that's just like a menial task that just needs to be done, right? Most employers are actually looking for someone who is independently thinks and wants to do things on their own terms. So having something like your own portfolio to your name, or things that you've done on your own in the past, is almost like more valuable than a degree to an extent now. Obviously it depends on what it is, but yeah.
Honestly, the degrees in general they're so outdated. Like the way of learning, like memorizing things is not the world nowadays, you know? Like there's so much information online.
Yeah.
There's too much information, you know?
Yeah, there's so much information. You just got to use it.
Yeah, like anyone could buy, like I could find a homeless man who could buy a phone for $30, accesses internet on what's it called, at a coffee shop or something, you know?
Yeah.
The internet is very accessible. Information is very accessible. And back then, information was so hard to attain.
Yeah, exactly.
If you didn't have books, you were stupid. You didn't know how to read.
Yeah.
So of course they think like, oh, if you didn't go to university, you have no knowledge, therefore you're stupid.
Yep.
How can you think that anymore? You can't.
No.
It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. You've just got to use the information that's out there intentionally, right? Because it's so easy to get sucked into random fucking videos and stuff. But if you actually said to yourself, okay, I want to learn sales, right? I want to learn sales. So what you would do to learn sales and be like the best salesman you could be, you go and watch like the most credible people on YouTube.
Wait, real quick. Let me add to that point. What do you do?
Yeah, okay.
There's a million things. YouTube videos, like you were just gonna say, but even if you want to download a course, man, if you want to download a course, you can get that for free.
Yeah.
Download books for free.
Everything's fucking there, bro.
Free on the internet.
You just gotta know what you want to. You just gotta know what you want, and then you just find it. Simple as that.
It's there. It's so insane.
Yeah.
I swear, bro. Any course you could think of, I swear, I could find it for free on the internet. It's there. Somewhere.
No, 100%.
So insane, man. I don't know. But yeah, not to harp too much on that point. I just think it's so interesting. Like, the way people think about it absolutely blows my mind. It's very annoying to me, honestly, because I hear it all the time. Back to the point about family. You know, like, you're lucky for that, man. But
yeah, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky.
School and not school, like, who cares, man? Back to the point about the doctor. What's funny is I met a doctor one time. He was an Indian guy. I met him in Minnesota. And he was like, man, I've been a doctor for like 10 years, and sometimes I forget how to do things, so I look them up on YouTube. Can you believe that? Like, even doctors learn things off YouTube. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. Yeah, so unless it's a job that you specifically need a fucking degree to get hired in, if you can just show that you know shit, like, there's nothing stopping you, right? So, yeah, you just...
Yeah, Even
Yeah.
Omar, like I interviewed one of my friends on my channel. Omar, he has a degree. He said he did 700 applications. He had 60 interviews and got 0 jobs.
Wow.
And he's not the only one, man. Like maybe he's bad at interviews, but I have a lot of other friends that are like that. You know what I mean?
Is he got a degree
They have,
or they've
they
got a
have
degree?
degrees, yeah.
Yeah. Well. Well.
Yeah, so
I
it's
mean,
pretty cool.
I don't know the stats. Like usually when you go into a job interview, obviously it differs, right? But the average, like how many people you're competing against for that one job on average, would you say? I don't really know how that works
Even
in
even
regards to
shitty
numbers.
jobs, you'll be competing against a lot of people.
Yeah. Yes,
But
that's
it's easy
mad.
to stand out, honestly.
Yeah, so you don't stand out with a degree because everyone fucking has one, right? So if you've actually got something to your name and you're like, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, then yeah, yeah.
Exactly. It's
But
so
yeah,
crazy, to me,
yeah.
man.
I mean, I've
But
kind of.
to your,
Sorry, you go.
no, I was just gonna ask about 0 to 10K, man. Like, why did you start doing that? Like, why did you start recording yourself every single day? Like,
So,
what do you think about it? Like, what do you think about burnout? Like, how's it going?
uh, right. It's a vast question. So I moved to Porto for a month, right? You know Porto, it's in Portugal. I don't know if you know where.
Oh, really?
It's basically a
Portugal's
city.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's basically a city in Portugal. So I moved there for a month on my own, to just kind of like lock in, and in the process of that, I was like, right, I want to start a personal brand so fucking much, but I don't know what the fuck to upload. And I saw this guy called Danny Lebrant or whatever, and he was uploading 0 to 10K a month videos. I was like, you know what? If I upload these, one, I'm gonna just start uploading. Two, I'm gonna actually build a personal brand, and three, I can hold myself accountable. So it was like a perfect like little option. So I did that, and I've been doing it ever since. And so yeah, that's kind of why I started. Purely, it was more to get over that like not fear because I already kind of like knew how to do a personal brand from Twitch streaming and stuff, but just get over that initial hurdle of posting about whatever it was in regards to my life online. So I got over that fear, and yeah, I mean it's been holding me accountable ever since, and I've just been doing the videos for now 103 days. And yeah, in regards to burnout, there are days where I just really can't. I don't know about you, but I really can't be fucked to upload the video because I record them the same day. So I'll get to the end of the day, I'm like, I'd really like to go to sleep now, or like I just kind of like want to lock in and not have to kind of explain everything going on in my life. I just want to like lock in, go to bed, wake up the next day and work. I don't want to like have to sit here in front of my desk at this in front of this webcam and just say, yeah guys, so today, you know, it's been a tough day, or it's been a good day, or whatever. So yeah, I don't know if you kind of have the same thing, but yeah.
No, I feel that. I have a lot of days where I just don't want to talk
Yeah,
at
exactly.
all. I want to go to sleep, but it's like a good 20 to 30 minutes that just like evaporates, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's like that for me. Like, it's not even the fact that I don't want to do it, it's the fact that like I'd rather just get more sleep because I'm
Yeah,
not going to
yeah.
be able to sleep. But you know what's funny is I've seen this trend, like it's a new trend, you know, 0 to whatever. A lot of people do it. Like I have a whole playlist. There's like 10 people in the playlist. They're
Really?
all doing the series.
Well, whereabouts are they? Are we like the two at the top, or how are the numbers looking, like day wise?
Yeah, so far we've been doing it the most consistently, man. For
Let's
sure.
go. Let's fucking go.
I think the most I've seen after us is maybe like 30 or 40,
Okay.
something
Okay.
like that. But it's interesting to see like not only is it interesting to see like how someone else's day operates if they're being ambitious, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
or being entrepreneurial, like how do you structure your day, like how do you go about it, what does the competition look like, but also almost all of these people are doing agencies. I swear, all
Yeah,
of them are doing
yeah.
agencies, and
But
they're all
that's
recording this. Isn't
yeah.
that crazy?
It's like the popular thing now. It's like that's how you make money. You need to do an agency, you know. So there's so many other like vast like different areas of making money online, but like the trendy thing is agencies, and that's what gets the most traction. So all of these gurus, they're not going to preach like business equity and shit to random kids because they're not going to buy on it. They're not going to get views on it. So everyone preaches SMMA because that's where the money is and that's where the attention is. So
I think I don't like it, man. If I for several reasons, I chose 0 to 1 billion because the business model that I'm in has created the most billionaires on record. Like factually, it created the most billionaires.
wow.
The number one way to become a billionaire is LBOs, leverage buyouts, banking, and hedge funds. But for sure. Like if you look at hedge funds and private equity, it's
Yeah.
probably created like private equity alone. LBOs has created like 400 billionaires out of 3,000. So
Wow.
if you consider hedge funds too, you know it's double. Most of the billionaires are created through the game that I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I chose it, and I don't see the point in doing what everyone else is doing. I want to stand out, and I don't want to sit there and try to think of a tech startup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many tech startups. So how can I stand out? If everyone's trying to stand out, the way I stand out is by fitting in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to create something new. I'm just out here.
Doing something that
trying to
works.
find- I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Like, look, if I buy a business, I could keep the owner on the business. Like, I could tell him, hey, look, I'm trying to buy your business, but I need you to stay working in the business for the next 6 months to help in transition. There's a lot of businesses that are bought that way. If I want to buy marketing, it's like buying a mentor and the business at the same time.
Yeah.
Mentors are hard to find, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Already created them.
a lot of people talk about mentors, but I don't actually know where to find mentors. That's probably a business there, you know. I tell you, if you could just set up a platform that could like link mentors and people who want mentors together, like that's pretty business.
But you got to think of the mentor's perspective. A mentor never wants to just be someone's babysitter.
Yeah.
There has to be some kind of value exchange.
Mm-hmm.
I've had multiple like quote unquote mentors, and first of all, there's different personality types. There's some people that aren't good at teaching. There's some people that aren't very patient. There's some people that are very busy. There's some people that the best kind of mentors are people that are past it, that are really old. Because what I find is a lot of old people are really, really willing to give back.
Yep.
That's how I built my board
Yep.
of directors. There's old people that have had great careers that now have a lot of free time and they just want to give back. There's a lot of them. Like those people could be your mentors. And how do you find them? You got to really go out there and look, because you wouldn't stand out otherwise. Like same thing with the six pack, you know, like why is getting a six pack so valuable? Because it's hard to get.
Yep. Yeah, if everyone could do it, if it was easy, then everyone would do it, you know?
Best way to find a mentor, I'd say join country clubs or private member clubs. Go there, just talk to people, and if you're social, you'll find someone that will take a liking in you and will want to teach you somehow.
Yeah.
They're hard to get into though, member clubs.
Yeah, there's
sure
not
you know.
there's yeah, I mean there's not that many in the UK. I feel like there's like that. Have you ever watched Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
No,
It's like really
maybe I've
random.
watched- I think I've watched I probably watched it a long time ago. I
Yeah.
don't really remember. I remember the books.
But yeah, there's like the stigma. Well, I don't know if it's just from the UK's perspective, but there's a lot of like country clubs in the US. So you've got pools there, you've got tennis courts, you've got a gym, you've got like everything goes there. Whereas in the UK, you don't really have them. There's not like a quote unquote country
No.
club. It's not like, because it's like a really prestige thing. It's like, yeah, I'm a member of the fucking country club. Yeah.
Okay, not.
But in the UK, we don't have that.
member clubs.
Yeah.
Clubs. There's a lot of them in the UK for sure. Members clubs are everywhere.
Yeah.
Every country has member clubs for sure.
I don't think to the extent that there are in the US though. I mean, of course there are.
Yeah,
There
US
are
is bigger.
in the UK. Of course there are, but yeah.
Yeah, the US is a bigger country, so for sure they definitely have more.
Yeah, I can't really think of any around me. Obviously, there's David Lloyd, which is like a gym with tennis courts and stuff, but it's a very mainstream thing. It's not
Yeah,
like
or pay for a really. All right, go ahead.
No. You're good.
I was saying, or just pay for a really expensive gym that's
Yeah.
near you. You'll meet a lot of cool people there. And you'll see a lot of nice cars.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of ideas. You got to think. You got to be able to think. That's the thing that people struggle with, is just not being able to think really. Just follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you live in Portugal right now?
No, but I'm hopefully moving. I'm hopefully either moving to the south of France or the US within the next few months. So it's all on the table. Depends. But right now I'm just in the UK. Nothing exciting going on.
Where in the US are you thinking about?
So I met this guy called Evan a while back, and well, I say a while back, it was like a month ago, and he basically runs what is he? It's like AI to do with real estate kind of thing. I don't know his business model really, to be honest, but yeah, he currently goes to university and stuff, and he was just like, yeah, we should just like with him and then I think it was like two other people, or maybe just him or whatever, like get a place in like Scottsdale or Chicago, like somewhere in the summer. So I think Scottsdale is good because it's very good for networking, as I'm sure you know. But just it could be anywhere, man. But yeah, Scottsdale, Chicago is probably the number one.
Yeah, I would say Scottsdale for sure, man.
Yeah,
Why not? Chicago's beautiful, man, but business there is tough.
really.
You don't want to do business there. Yeah, for a lot of reasons.
It's more of just living there, though.
Cleveland.
I don't think I'll be doing too much business there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you live in the city, like on the north side of Chicago, it's really beautiful, I'd say. I like it. A lot of people don't like it, but
Yeah, I've been to
I'll
Chicago a lot of times in my childhood. It's so nice, bro. So
yeah, it is. Scottsdale, I would say over Chicago for sure, though.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the whole so you started it off. You lived in Portugal, like you said,
yeah.
and you wanted to make videos. So how do you think we could like take our channels to the next level? Because you have about 2,000 subscribers. I have maybe like 2,300, close to like
Yeah.
2,400 subscribers. We're about the same. How do we take it to the next level, man?
I think you've got to kind of see where the attention's going and what kind of your goals are, right? So what you've got to look at what audience you want to attract. And if the audience you want to attract is the same as Iman Gadzhi's, is the same as Sebastian Gorgiu or whoever, like those kind of guys, then you can literally just kind of like steal like an artist and Control C, Control V their shit, because you're going to get the same kind of, because you know it works, right? So you just post that kind of stuff. And maybe short form content as well. That's obviously like incredibly valuable if you can do it correctly and get it out enough. But I don't know for you. For me, my audience is like 0 to 10K, so it's kind of most people starting from 0 and wanting tips on how to get to 10K and all this stuff. So I feel like our demographics are kind of similar, but I think it's just almost looking at what works and then just posting on that same wavelength to an extent. Like I think what would be good for me is like shit like this, like top 10 books, Monk Mode, how it changed my life, like dopamine detox for a week, like. Although we've already talked about it and how zesty this shit is, it works, right? And our intention is growing our brand, so yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest though. The thing with me is I wouldn't ever want to just. Like, I hate when I watch a video and it's just a Command C, Command V,
Yeah.
Iman Gadzhi. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that so much, man. I hate those videos. So I would never want to do that to my audience. Like I don't want to copy anyone else. I want to create like it's like my own path, but still somehow figure out how to like optimize the growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think another thing is that with these videos, like I call them yap sessions, right? Where you sit there for like 30, 40 minutes at a time just waffling into a microphone on your own. We kind of gain an incredible amount of trust from the people that watch our videos. Like they kind of like see into our daily lives and they know kind of like how our headspace works and they kind of feel like an empathy or like, and they resonate with us somewhat. So they're going to trust us a lot more than people who just talk into a microphone saying, do this, this is going to change your life. Da, da, da. So if we can kind of tap into that and use that kind of trust to our advantage, and then if you just post stuff about your life and how you've moved forward with this series that you're doing and now you're going to be doing this and this and this and this, even if it's just like, just kind of portraying your life. Like my friend, like Evan, he's going to Switzerland in like 2 weeks, or like, no, I think it's like 3 weeks, for a networking event in a community that he's in, and he's vlogging the whole trip. If we were to do something like that and just kind of use our personal brands to our advantage and how people trust us and how they kind of like they like us for us, right? They like us for our personality and the way we kind of talk about things. If we were boring, just talking with a monotone voice, like, yeah, so today, I did this and it was, yeah.
That's the other channels, man. They look
exactly. So we use that to our advantage and we just post stuff that's actually like is us. Like just it's nothing fake. It's just actually us. I think that's going to resonate with a lot more people. And then it's just a case of actually getting content like that you do that with, really.
Yeah. So I know what you mean. I don't disagree. I think definitely the route I've been taking needs like a shift. I noticed that like if I put slight tweaks on my videos, they kind of like spike.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whether it's just like a thumbnail change or I do something different in the beginning of the video, they definitely like spike. It's like when I first created my channel, no matter how good the video I made, it just didn't do well. But when you're consistent, that's when you could start like tweaking it. You know what I mean? It's really cool. I think maybe what if we do this? What if we like challenge ourselves and we like, it might be boring, if we document like as a vlog instead of like a monologue of our days, maybe
Yes.
that's a good
Yeah.
shift or something.
I
Like
maybe
something.
even if you did that as short form, right?
No, no, like legit full fledged like Sam Sulik, like
I haven't
fully
watched
like
this
show.
stuff. I haven't watched this stuff.
Yeah, I haven't watched it too much, man. He like just goes to the gym and he like drives in his car and he talks to the camera. That's basically what he does. He goes grocery shopping and he like eats and shows you how he gets so big.
Yeah.
That's really what he does.
But you wouldn't do it daily. You'd
But
just do it like every now and then, right?
you talking about
How,
me or him?
or just in general, would you start doing that every day?
No, I don't think it would be entertaining enough. But I would do it every day. Like it would be hard. You
Mm.
definitely need to record them and post them 2 days in advance
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
You could. I
Yeah.
think you could do it. It might be something different, but that's something I was considering trying.
Mm.
And then maybe another route, like the more like interview style. That's another kind of shift change
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
try. There's definitely shifts, but you know what it all really comes down to is the fact that you don't have results. That's really what it is. Like, who
Hmm.
the hell is gonna listen to someone who doesn't have results?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You need to be credible.
Who's
Yeah.
gonna go out
Exactly.
there and listen to someone like that? Like no one.
Yeah.
Do you do that? I
What?
mean, I don't
Yeah.
do.
No. What?
I
What? Sorry.
I said, do you do that? Like, do you ever watch like videos of people just who don't have results? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think of one?
I think there's a lot of people who try and be like Andrew Tate when they don't have anything to actually back the fact that they are who they say they are. Like, of course, I'm not the most credible person in the world, but I like to talk about things that have kind of like helped me in my day-to-day life and made me, I don't know, again, it sounds zesty, but more productive, or have helped me, whatever. So I'm not like the most credible, but it works. But yeah, I see these guys and they kind of like, they almost do it the same way Andrew Tate did, and they just say the most like controversial shit with no credibility, and doing so they get a shit ton of comments hating on them and they grow. So it works, but yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. I don't know. Definitely different ways of growing is an interesting topic.
Yeah. With
Yeah, man.
with the daily videos, you can do like maybe not daily in regards to long form videos, but just kind of like portraying your day and saying I'm doing this, doing this, doing this. But what you could do is, I see this on TikTok, is people will like take videos of their day and it'll be like a 1 minute video of I don't know, 8 a.m. wake up, 9 a.m. do this, 10 a.m. do this, 11 a.m. go to the gym, whatever. But if you
No,
were
no, I
to,
don't like those. I've
you wouldn't
tried.
do that. It does, yeah.
I've tried them. I've tried them on my TikTok before.
Mm,
I've gotten banned so many times on TikTok.
really?
I wouldn't do those videos. I want it to be like actual like personal, not just like I've seen Jordan Welsh. He did kind of like becoming rich in 30 days,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
It's a trend, man. Like we're on a trend right now.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I didn't really enjoy those videos. I don't think I don't know. I just didn't like them, man. I
Yeah.
think they could be better.
Yeah, yeah. I think they can be better, but it's what you want to do. But it's also like, if you don't like that kind of stuff, then that's fair enough. But you've also got to understand to an extent that that's what the market kind of wants. And if you want to grow, you've just got to kind of keep up with that, whether you kind of like it or not. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So with your like what you do on a day to day, you're on your phone a lot, right?
Not necessarily my phone, but more my computer. Yeah.
I see. So you do outreach. How much outreach do you do?
It depends on company to company, because there's two, right? So one of them is it kind of like, in regards to short form, it varies, because I feel like we've almost outreached to everyone possible to outreach to now. So we need to kind of switch up our strategy, maybe try paid ads or something. But yeah, outreach, I think I'm not doing nearly as much as I could do. It's currently about 100 a day now, but I feel like I can, like, it's so easy to do outreach on Instagram. You just literally click on a name, press message, click on a name, press message. But if I were to get people on board and do it for me, I think I could, like, results would like increase astronomically. So yeah, right now I'm doing 100, but I feel like I could definitely do more. I want to ask you about you, but I don't really know how your kind of like business model works in regards to outreach. Obviously you do LinkedIn, but
No, ask me, man. I mean, so outreach, there's a lot of different ways, and I'm kind of learning it, man. Because the deal flow is the lifeblood of my business.
Mhm.
If I don't have deal flow, and no one, like, I wouldn't create value for anyone to work with me.
Yeah.
Like the bankers wouldn't want to talk to me, the brokers won't want to talk to me, board members. Everything stems from me creating deal flow.
Yep.
The most common thing I've seen, which I'm now realizing, a lot of people in the industry, they do cold email and they do it really, really well. It creates insane deal flow. Like outreach on email is top tier when it comes to M&A. At least from my understanding. I also do cold calls. I do a lot of cold calls, but it's getting harder for me to do cold calls with my job. So I need to create like a cold email campaign, which I literally was working on that last night. Buying multiple domains, warming them up, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure you're aware of it.
Yep. What are you using? Lemlist or?
No, instantly.
Instantly. Okay.
Yeah. Another thing, like you could send mail direct. You gotta do old school outreach when it comes to reaching out to business owners. Because the M&A space isn't very like, it's not like Iman Ghazi, like it's like old school.
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of it is relationships. So once you get your first deal, a lot of it is like referral.
Yeah. And if you can incentivize that as well with the clients, you're gonna get so many more results. Like.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's really what I'm doing, where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of ways to do it. There's a lot of agencies that do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, what were you gonna say?
I don't. So obviously, I'm only 20, right? So I don't fully understand the. I don't mean to use that as an excuse, but I haven't really had the need to do it. So I don't really understand the like equity, kind of all this stuff, right? So how, like, if you're just cold emailing a shit ton of people, how do you like qualify them? How do you know, okay, this is someone that I'd actually invest in, that I'm actually going to get like profit off?
Yeah.
How do you kind of like know that?
You have to call them. You have to like talk to them over the phone. So once they show interest, now you got to qualify them. Why do you want to sell? There's a lot of people that don't really want to sell. Like, it's the concept of a prospect versus suspect, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people will waste your time. You don't want that. You want someone who's a serious seller. You want to hear his reasons for looking to sell, and you want to ask him about his business. Basically, you get the cold email. From there, you schedule a first phone call, and from there, you do an NDA, and they send you the financials, like last 3 years, tax returns, P&Ls, balance sheets, key contracts, and lease agreements, things like that. That's the process. Like you get on a phone call, you build up the trust, not trust from just his side, from your side too. Because if I'm gonna undergo due diligence on your company, and you're selling me a shit company, I'm gonna be wasting my time, and it's gonna be terrible for me.
Yeah.
I gotta watch I'm qualifying them when I'm on the call, really.
Okay, so that it kind of works both ways. That's like a different construct to most things, because you're like qualifying them, and they're kind of qualifying you at the same time. You've got to gain trust in them, they've got to gain trust in you, and yeah, it's like a different construct. Because usually sales is like they've got to gain trust in you, and as long as they've got the financials to pay you, then you don't really give a fuck. You just like sign them and then do the best job fulfillment wise possible. But yours is like trust on both sides, so. Yeah,
man. I mean, ask me about it, man. So many people don't really understand it.
It's interesting to me because I don't know too much on the model, to be honest. So you say you use LinkedIn, right? How do you how does that work? What do you do in regards to LinkedIn?
So I reach out to the owners and I ask them. There's different ways of doing it. You could either just try to like have a conversation, or you could ask them about their company, or you could just be so direct and just ask, have you ever thought about selling? Things like that.
Yeah.
But you just outreach and you're trying to create a phone call. It's the same as email.
Yeah.
But just on LinkedIn.
And you take calls on the phone as opposed to like Google Meet or something? You just do it on the phone?
Depends what I'm doing. Like sometimes I'll take the meeting in the car,
Yeah.
I might slide sometimes.
Yeah, that's cool. I respect. I'm just trying to I'm trying to understand the construct of it all. So you're basically, I think I kind of get it. So you're kind of outreaching to these random guys and you're qualifying them to see if you'd actually make a profit on whatever it is that you would invest into the business, and you're trying to like get an agreement on price. I guess you negotiate the price down to as best, like as best you can, and then you see the margin on that and see if that's worth, and then you also have to. It's quite a long process actually. Then you have to qualify the owner and see if like it's mandatory that they have to be around and all this stuff. So yeah, like, what are your main like issues that you kind of run into within your business?
So I get a lot of people that are interested in selling, but a lot of times they're not qualified for me to buy. Like
Yeah.
it might be too small. It might a lot of times they're just too small, man. So I'll run into interested sellers, but it's like the data that I use is not accurate enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I've been working on like the last week almost. Just trying to get better data, switching software, getting better lists, trying different things. Like I'm gonna try doing direct mail and cold email a bit more than cold calls. Because cold calls, like you could get results, but you need solid data, which honestly is probably not very hard for a lot of people. But like I want like the direct phone number of the owner. I don't want to call the company and deal with gatekeepers. I've had, so that's another problem. It's just gatekeepers and dealing with small businesses.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Do you so you want to do cold email? How do you lead source first of all, and then how are you going about cold email? How's that gonna like improve your business compared to cold calling?
So a couple reasons. Two questions, right? So first part, so the cold emails, or where do I get my data from?
Yeah.
So I get my data from multiple places. One that I primarily used was from a government website. So sometimes, depending on the business you pick, that kind of business needs licenses, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, these licenses are posted on government websites. Like they have to like publicly like show it and stuff like that for customers and for the clients. You need to have certification, right?
Yeah.
You download these lists from government websites, and you know for sure like these are real businesses, because otherwise they wouldn't be there. And other places are like Apollo, Seamless AI, Toolkit.io, Lucia. There's a lot of them, bro. There's even like the cold email, like instantly, they also do list building. I've tried to pay people on Fiverr. There's a lot of different ways to try. There's a lot of things to try.
Do you find some of the leads on these like automated things like Apollo? Do you find the leads to be like quite low quality, or how have you kind of found that?
So I'll be honest, I never fully like Apollo. You have to actually pay money to get like the direct phone number. So it's like a huge barrier to entry. So not a lot of people are even like looking for that. But you could pay to get the phone number, and then you could pay also for enrichment. It's like two things. That's stuff that I've never really paid for, if I'm being honest. Something that I'm undergoing right now.
Yeah, it adds up though, all that stuff.
Yeah, but I'm willing to pay it, because this is like, it's like a real project. It's real business in real life. It has a lot of potential, and I'm already in too deep. Like,
yeah,
I'm working a job. Like, I really don't care to have scraps. Like, I'm looking for real money.
No,
You understand how you make money from it, right?
yeah. Well, you're basically buying a business that has more than you're paying for it, right? Almost, but you're kind of basically the way that sounds dumb, because you're like, why you're thinking, why would these guys sell it? But you're kind of taking a weight off their shoulders, especially if you're working with older people who no longer want to have that business, and they're getting to the point where they want to get rid of it, and you're kind of providing them that get out. So
exactly.
Yeah,
but okay, let's say I buy your business. So I want to make sure that the debt service is covered by the cash flow at least 2 to 3 times. Like if your business makes $500,000 in profit, I want to make sure my debt does not exceed $250,000 a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I need to cover the debt service at least 2 times to be like comfortably in the range. Not only that, so you're gaining cash flow from this process, and you're also gaining an asset that's worth whatever you bought it for. So it's like if I buy something for $1 million and I pay it off, I just earned $1 million and I have money coming in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's also overfinance. Overfinance is another key one. That's the one that I'm super excited about. Like, imagine me recording every single day, and on my journey, I come to the camera and I'm like I did it. Like I did overfinance. Overfinance is like if your deal is super hot and you got it on like a really good price,
Mm-hmm.
the bank is gonna want to give you more money than you asked for. Sometimes, a lot of times, they'll give you working capital and sometimes also overfinance. A
Okay.
lot of these deals are structured that way. So overfinance, you use it to pay off um, your professionals. So my board members, I'm gonna give them bonuses for working with me, and I'm also gonna keep some overfinance, and then the rest of it I'm gonna keep as working capital within the business because the cash flow is gonna need, it's gonna run out real fast in the beginning. So you're gonna need some
Yeah.
kind of like cash in the bank.
Okay, that's sick. So that's I've got so many questions now. So when you get into the business, you've bought the business, right? And you're now the owner of the business.
Yeah.
Do you kind of like have to? I guess you kind of have to take an active role within it, right? And like,
No.
how does that work?
So that's the thing. You got to do it the right way because you could easily do that to yourself, right?
Yeah.
If you buy it really small, you're gonna end up doing that. A lot of times, so there's different ways of doing it. Multiple people do it in different ways. So sometimes you'll partner with someone who's an industry expert, and the deal is that whenever you buy the business, they'll work in the business as the operator, and you're just gonna be the owner.
Okay.
So there's ways to structure it like that. But me particularly, I'm gonna have the owner stay on for a while. Or in the beginning, if I have to be the operator, I will do that. So it's either or.
Yep.
But I will have the business owner to teach me, or I'll have them on for a while until I hire someone.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, that's those are different ideas. There's multiple ideas to it. And also another idea is I run it myself while I'm doing another acquisition until I have enough cash flow to come in to actually pay someone to run it for me, like a CEO. CEOs they don't own businesses, they run it. They're like very high level managers.
Mm-hmm. You just got then you've got like this. It's so many. It's like problem after problem. It's like you fix one problem, you've got another one. Like you get in there and you want to get someone in there. Then you've got to get the person that's the right fit to give them that job, so you don't fuck up the company. So I guess that's probably quite a big like roadblock once you get there, if that ever did come up.
But if you're making enough cash flow, the money should be your support to fix the problem. You know what I mean? I mean, if businesses operated the right way, you wouldn't be making the money. But you need a plan. Like you're either gonna have someone on your team who's gonna help you run it, or you're gonna have the owner to help you run it, or you're gonna run it yourself. In my case, my board of directors, I have people on my team right now. I have a board of directors, right? There's people on my board that have experience within this sector for 30 years, and they're going to be basically like assisting me and teaching me through this process as well. Mm-hmm. So I have multiple ways to like lean, or I could hire someone, like there's a lot of options.
Yeah. It's interesting to me, man, because I've never kind of been like, obviously I've been growing up as a kid and I've been somewhat like hearing about this stuff, but to actually hear it, like how it works hands on as opposed to just something like that my dad was talking about or whatever is quite interesting, because there's so many different like business opportunities that you can do, and everyone's kind of like stuck in that tunnel vision mindset of SMMA or these things, all of these things that are just kind of like so attractive now because Iman Ghazi's talked about them. But yeah, it's interesting to kind of hear about this stuff. Honestly, I'm just trying to.
I love talking about it.
Think about other questions that would kind of correlate to it all.
Yeah, you know what's crazy though? You know how I kind of stumbled on this idea?
How? Go on. Let me just check I'm still recording. Yeah, we're good.
I used to have a sales job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And something happened and like it fell apart and I lost the job, right?
Yep.
And after that, man, I was really working hard for scraps, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then I still lost. So I was like so pissed at the time. I was so mad. When that happened to me, I literally stuck myself in my room for like a week. I didn't leave. Dark. I didn't turn on the lights. I wasn't depressed, but I was so like, how is it that this is how I live, but then there's people out here that are billionaires? How does that even make sense? Like, what are they doing? Like, they're not doing what I'm doing. What are they doing? Right? Like, there has to be some kind of pattern that I could like catch on, like something. I'm missing something, like something wrong that I'm doing, right? So I would sit there in my room for a week, and all I did was study the billionaires list. That's all I did. I would literally study them all. Like
That's
I would sit there, I would find out about their life. I would find out what they do and how they did it, and like this guy inherited. Did you? So I know so many like funny facts about billionaires. Like the richest man in New Zealand is actually a man who did what I did, but he bought box companies, so companies that like make boxes. He
what,
owns them all in New Zealand, and
what,
he's the
what do you
richest
mean?
man.
What do you mean by boxes? You mean like cardboard boxes?
Yes, cardboard boxes.
Wow.
He didn't even make the businesses. He bought them. He bought the businesses, made it into a roll up, into like one portfolio, and he owns all of them. And he's a billionaire, and he's in New Zealand. Or like, there's a guy in what was it? Not Nigeria. Ethiopia. I think he like breaks rocks or something, like something in concrete. He's a billionaire. Like
Wow.
some weird. So the common theme that I found is a lot of these billionaires buy businesses. A lot of them. Elon Musk bought how many businesses? What's his name? The guy who owns Louis Vuitton. How many businesses has he bought?
He's bought fucking loads. I saw a picture of his. It's like loads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all M&A. Like he's never ever gonna be broke ever in his life. Because
Yeah.
if one business fails, the other one is still surviving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he owns so much shit, man. It's crazy.
What'd you say?
He owns so much shit. I can't remember like what, but it was just so many like massive companies.
Exactly.
It's like
So
Rolex
Jeff
and
Bezos,
stuff, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
he
it's
owns
crazy.
a lot of brands. Jeff Bezos bought Twitch. He bought AWS. Go down the list. Facebook. They bought WhatsApp. They bought Instagram. Google buys YouTube. They all buy things, and it trickles down, and it's all the way to the finance game.
Yeah.
What's his name? Steven Schwartzman. He raised money, and he was in the LBOs and real estate, but primarily he was in the LBO game. A lot of these people, what they do is they focus on buying businesses. It's crazy. Even the banks, they make a lot of money off of loaning for the LBOs. You know, like LBO is like the tippy top of capitalism.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just saw it, and the thing is, I also thought like, okay, if there's a way for someone to be a billionaire, it could work in any country. Like that
Yeah.
would make
Yeah.
sense,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Say that again.
What? Sorry. I said yeah. I was just agreeing. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna be in every country, so there has to be some like strategy that I don't understand that could work anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's literally M&A. Like M&A, you could buy companies in any country in the world.
What does M&A stand for, by the way?
Mergers and acquisition.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just M&A. You could do it in a lot of countries as long as they have like a rule of law. Like if they actually have like real laws in the country, then it makes it easier. But like for example, the oligarchs, man, they bought businesses at an insane discount. It's like the most crazy discount ever. They bought these businesses. You know, like it's all M&A. Like all I saw was M&A when I studied them. I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was like startups, and then I was like, okay, no, it's M&A. Even at some point in the startup game, you reach a point where you have to buy things. That's the only way you grow as a company. If you're not growing, you're dying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And no one's gonna buy you either.
Yeah, so you don't want to sit there trying to buy and acquire customers. What's better than that? You acquire a business. That's also like these top level people, man. That's what they do. They focus on these deals.
Yeah.
They're at these black tie events and these country clubs, and they're working on deals. They're not working on, hey, this customer complained and gave us a bad review. You know?
Yeah. It's kind of mad. I didn't even, obviously I knew this world existed, but I never actually comprehended it because I see all these like massive people owning all these like different corporations or companies or whatever, but I never actually comprehended the fact that that's actually what they made their money by buying those companies, and they make an insane amount of money from it. And I know the stat of YouTube was bought for however much, let's just say for easy numbers, 1 billion, and now it makes 1 billion a day. Like the ROI on that is fucking crazy. So I guess you're kind of looking for those kind of deals.
Yeah, but those are like unicorn deals. Like
Yeah.
Tech,
Of course.
tech is insane, but I'm just talking about like the everyday sort of thing. Like, yeah, man, the people that own the world, they do this game. Like this is the game they play.
Yeah.
They don't play games.
Yeah, I think.
Like you know what game they play?
What
They
game?
they play they don't just buy businesses. They buy other firms that buy businesses. So it's like another level.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
fucking
Blackstone.
crazy.
They buy these
Yeah,
firms.
yeah,
They
yeah.
buy the they buy the banks like J.P. Morgan and Chase. They had a merger, so it's J.P. Morgan Chase.
Yeah, they own Chase Bank now. Yeah, because my
Like
aunt
all
my
the
auntie works
businesses
for him.
that this bank was attached with now is owned by this new bank.
Yeah, it's
Or
fucking
whatever.
crazy, man. Like, isn't I think BlackRock own like 95% of the S&P 500, right? Or like a good stake in a lot of the companies, something along those lines.
So BlackRock, Blackstone, and State Street they own 88% of the S&P,
Wow.
or they have a stake in 88%. I think they don't own it. They have like an equity stake in that.
Is
It's
that is that not
88%.
got Vanguard in it as well?
No, it is Vanguard. You're right. So it's Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, not Blackstone.
That's fucking crazy though. Like the amount of I saw a stat on the amount of like capital that they have. It's like the it, it's like 13 trillion total in just BlackRock alone, and like that's how much they
Yeah.
own. 13 fucking trillion, bro. Like that
You
is
know, you know,
mad.
Blackstone, not BlackRock, Blackstone.
I haven't. I think I've heard of them. I don't know them too much. Sorry.
Yeah. So Blackstone created BlackRock.
Okay.
Steven Schwartzman is the originator. He had Blackstone, and Larry Fink, the owner of BlackRock, or the owner of BlackRock,
BlackRock. Yeah.
used to work under Blackstone. Then they had a disagreement over like a contract they had, and they split. I read this book about it, man. It's super
Wow.
interesting. Those people own the world, like those kind of people.
Yeah, yeah. You just gotta follow the money, man. It's simple. It's really just as simple as that. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I'm in this game and it actually works, and I actually work hard for a long period of time, why can't I do something like great? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. Of course, bro. This is the kind of thing that like you'll be working for a year, and it will look like an overnight success because you just signed someone like that. But you've been working for a year to get to that point, and then you sign them, and your whole life changed because the amount of capital you gain from that one close is fucking like crazy. So
Yeah, at one point I was talking with different law firms. I talked about this in my videos too. But the law firms that I worked with for these deals, I wanted to work with them on a success fee basis, right?
yeah,
So I was in conversations and they were like, okay, I want you to just feel comfortable with us. I'm going to introduce you to one of our clients that is very similar to your group. They bought 14 businesses. I want to introduce you to them so you know that our work is actually good. Right? So they introduced me to these guys. In a different part of the country, and I was sitting in front of someone he bought 14 businesses. In 3 years, he did 14 businesses, and he was like telling me about how he did it. And he told me like he did it with $0 of his own money.
what the fuck,
Like same way I'm
bro?
doing it.
You just gotta like
Same strat-
know about this stuff.
Yeah, it's insane. Like his story, I don't know. Like when I was in front of him, I was like, dude, okay, like I'm hooked.
Yeah, you'll
I
get
could
like
do
that
this.
is some crazy motivation, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
that is.
Exactly, man.
If so, a question I'll ask is, if you don't have the capital to do it, as that guy said, he doesn't, none of his own money. If there's
Yeah.
someone watching this video right now who wants to start M&A, how do they start M&A? That's the question.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 steps. I'd say 3 steps. Some people say 4. First of all, you got to know most people aren't like their mind doesn't go far enough to think they want to do this. They only want to make like 10K or 100K a month. They don't want to make millions.
Yep.
This is a hard game to play, first of all. But first 3 steps, you got to build a board of directors. Then you got to create deal flow. And then you find the financing, and then boom, the deal's done.
Okay. I'm sure that there's a lot more in depth than that than just
So yeah,
just like just do
each
that and you're
step
good.
has its own- yeah, each step has its own in depth.
Yeah. How what a question I have is, if you're buying a company for, I don't know, we'll just say easy numbers again, like 500 grand, how do you actually get that from the bank? How do you like get that trust in you to do that?
Like I'm young, right? Like I'm 22. So if I go to the bank and they just see me by myself, they won't give me the money. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like at some level of transactions with the banks, they won't look at your credit score. They only look at how good of a deal is it that you have. They don't look at your credit. You know what I mean? Because no matter how much you work a job, you'll never be able to pay this back. So they don't look at you. They look at the business, because the business is going to pay them back, not you.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So first of all, you have to have a really, really hot deal. And on top of that, if you have a hot deal and you're by yourself, more than likely, man, like it's going to be hard to get the money. So you need to have credibility and you need to have experience, right? But what do you do if you don't have 20 years to spend on that? What you do is you build a board of directors. So you gain instant track record. So the idea is, hey, look, like maybe I don't have the experience, but our team has the experience. Look at my team, right?
Yep.
You get people on your team who have done hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions through their experience. Like my board has done over 500 million in transactions through M&A throughout their career as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically like saying like, hey, look, like okay, maybe I won't have the experience, but we have the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bank might look at me like this 22-year-old kid is gonna lose our money, but then they're gonna look at our group and they're gonna say, okay, maybe it's gonna be a lot harder for the group to lose the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine it's quite a process because you've got to go in there and you've got to almost sell it to them first of all. It's not like you go up to the front desk. The woman sat on the front desk behind that little glass screen. You're like, right, I need 500 grand. I'm putting it into this business. Yeah, cheers. And these are the guys that are with me. You've got like it's a whole process, right? It's not like a day, like a one day thing.
It's not actually as complicated as you think. Like
really?
Financing, the hardest part is finding a hot deal. It's not the financing.
Okay.
Banks want to give you money. It's kind of it's. I heard this funny analogy one time. It's kind of like having sex. Like you want it, she wants it, but she wants reassurance. So like the bank wants to give you money because that's how they make money.
Yeah.
Right, but they want reassurance. They want to know you're not going to lose their money.
That's quite a good analogy, actually. It's just interesting to me because obviously I knew this world kind of existed, but not really. Like I knew it existed, but I didn't know to the extent of what you just told me, right? Like I didn't know all the background to it all. So yeah, it's fucking interesting, man. Like
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was listening to this podcast today, like in between like driving and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What was the guy's name? It was like Daniel, the guy who created Spotify. He's like some Swedish guy, right? And he was talking about his story, and he mentioned that like at the end of selling the business, like it was worth like 36 billion in like 2008, I think, and he was worth like 3 billion at like 23 or 22, something like that. And he mentioned like two very interesting things. Like one is like even him at the time, he would do cold outreach. Like he would, because back then I guess like it wasn't like cold emails and stuff like that as much. There probably was, but the way he described it is he would literally he would wait in front of the office until the CEO would like walk out and try to catch him, or until like the assistant would walk out and try to catch them.
Wow.
And he would say how important it is to be good with the gatekeepers, because the gatekeepers actually have a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
Have a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But not only that, the guys who bought Spotify, who like had an equity stake in Spotify, that company is such a big company. Like, imagine not only being the guy who created Spotify, 36 billion, worth 3 billion. What about the guy who's buying it? Like, who the hell is that? You know what I mean?
How is that guy still own it? The guy you were on about, the Swedish guy, or is it how is it kind of like staked out now?
I didn't do enough research. I was just listening to his podcast. I think he still owns a bit of it. I think.
Wow, that is fucking crazy, though. I mean, as I say, I didn't really know about half of this stuff, but
yeah, if you don't think about things that far, then how are you supposed to hit that target? You know?
Yeah, exactly. I think, It's weird because the problem is, right, is all of these guys that are watching especially my audience, because my audience, I haven't watched yours, I imagine a lot of them haven't. These guys, most of them are kind of like caught up in this world, as am I to an extent, of the way to make money is you do SMMA, you make a bit of capital from SMMA, right, or an agency, and then you use that capital to invest it into crypto, or you invest it into stocks, and then that's how you make your fortune. When in reality, it's a whole different ball game that you haven't even been informed about, and that's what you're talking about now.
Yeah, so why are you gonna invest in stocks? Why don't you put your company on the stock exchange? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly.
Like, who the hell are those guys? Like, why are they so much better than you?
Hmm. Yeah, it's
That's the way
fucking
I think of
crazy.
it.
Yeah. So I tell you what, if you could be the guy, going back to your personal brand, if you could be the guy that kind of like informs people of this kind of service and makes it somewhat trendy, you're the guy who talks about this service. You're the guy who like you're the guy that makes it like as popular as agencies, because agencies are popular because people aren't actually going to take action on it. They're just going to see it and be like, holy fuck, these guys are making fucking loads of money. If you could be the guy that like informs the masses of this thing and be like Meckdad, the is it M&A, the M&A guy,
Yeah, M&A.
like people are going to be like completely out of that limiting belief of, yeah, I can make about 50k a month, I can make about 10k a month with this agency. They're going to leave that and they're going to start trying to do things like you are, or at least be
Yeah,
open to it. So
yeah, the M&A world, there's so many ways to make money, man, out of this. Like, I don't need to sell a course. Like, my audience could be my investors, almost like Grant Cardone. Like
yeah,
Grant
yeah,
Cardone, he literally on camera went from being like worth a couple million back when he first started his channel to being a billionaire on camera. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So why would I scam my people for a course when I could be making way more than that, you know, in different ways.
mm-hmm.
Like also M&A, like you could literally make a business off of having an M&A consulting business. Or if you have some kind of like community and like there's there's like people teaching people and everyone's doing like a daily video of what they did in that day to get towards the whatever goal, but you could only access these videos in a group. That could be another way of making money off the
Yeah,
videos, or these videos could just help you create better deal flow. That alone is a lot of value, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Yeah,
So the
yeah.
videos could really do a lot. They could do damage.
I've got
Like one day.
yeah. I've now got a few questions. So, first of all, what's stopping you from becoming the M&A guy? Well, why don't you start uploading? Like, obviously, you do your videos that you do now, but you upload other videos that kind of like makes it popular and you get it in front
'Cause
of people.
I would never want to teach someone if I'm not doing it myself. That's who I am, you know.
Yeah,
I'll never do that. And even then, like even I think even if I do it myself, I still might not teach. I would have people like interview me and kind of ask. Or I don't know how I might change my mind, but I wouldn't like sit there and try to teach as much as I would want to do. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't ever want to be the teacher. I don't know. That's how I think of it. It's always felt very like phony. Why are you teaching if you're actually making that much money? You know?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
no, if someone's truly smart, they wouldn't really like pay it too much mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's because you said that there's a load of ways to make money with M&A, right? I'm just thinking
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you were to create a personal brand around that, you might be able to kind of leverage that. But then again, you don't want to do that because you've said that you don't want to be that guy who's trying to practice something that they're not actually preaching or don't have that
exactly.
credibility to do that stuff yet. So
Yeah, I'd rather play like the real role. Like, do you know J Cole?
yeah, I've heard of
He's a
him.
rapper,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it was such a good line. He said, I'm gonna butcher it, right? But he said something along the lines of like all these rappers nowadays are trying to act like they're rich when they're not,
Mm-hmm.
right? When in fact, if they made music about how they're poor and like how they're trying to make it, and they're actually like really good, but like no one sees it, like that kind of like genuineness,
Mm-hmm.
they would make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I would play my real role, like in real life, like this is where I'm at. That's more attractive. I don't want to be Iman Gotsi. I'm not Iman Gotsi. I'm over here trying to. I live a whole different type of lifestyle. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's not real. This is real.
yeah.
That's how I. You know?
Because you resonate with everyone more as well, rather than trying to fake something that you're not.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got it, man. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy. I was gonna ask about your 0 to 1 billion, but then again, I've kind of thought about it. I'm like, yeah, my question was gonna be like, do you not think that the 0 to 1 billion series is gonna like hold you back in regards to acquisition and stuff? But then again, I'm like, who the fuck is gonna find your videos? So that's a problem that I kind of encounter because people, my channel's really accessible via my profile, but yours isn't like no old man who's trying to start his company is going to see your videos, right? So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's kind of good that I'm small right now because if they're, I mean, I don't talk about confidential information, but it might deter people away because they would think I would do that. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Or it would give them reason to believe.
Yeah, it just adds another like resist like barrier of resistance, like another smoke screen that you got to kind of like go through, but it's a smoke screen that they've put on themselves. Well, you've
Exactly
kind of
right.
given them, right? You've given them that smoke screen. They're like, you know what? Even if I know this guy, like I know this guy's not going to leak anything. They have that idea that he could, or something could happen, or maybe he's lying, or maybe he's, all this shit that's going to like enter their mind that maybe isn't true, but they're just going to believe regardless. So it makes your life 10 times harder if they did see that.
Yeah, I agree. And um, I think when it actually works is when the channel might blow up.
Yeah,
That's that's the ideal situation, honestly. Like I don't want to like have any kind of glamorous or I don't want to be rewarded if I don't have a reason to be rewarded. You know, it's kind of like sales. Like I've always worked sales jobs. Unless you get the food, you don't get to eat. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
That's how it should be with your content. Like you really shouldn't blow up because you're gonna get a lot of cool things happen to you when you blow up. You'll get money or a lot of things, a lot of good things can happen. But if you didn't make it and you're blowing up, it's like now you become the person who's teaching but not doing. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
that's a
not who
really
I
good
want to be.
point.
I just want to be great. Like imagine someone actually does something super massive and they record themselves every single day. What can be bigger than that? And there's a whole like giant barrier to entry. Like you have to record yourself every single day. Like no one's willing to do that.
No one's fucking doing that. Just me and you, bro. Just me and you.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you're on the island, man, like you're creating like no one's your competition
Yeah,
in a way.
you are your competition, like quite literally.
Yeah,
So
that's yeah, man. Maybe I'm probably a bit crazy for shooting for like that kind of idea. But man, if it works, it's worth it.
what do you
That's
mean
how I
by
think.
that kind of idea? You mean 1 billion?
Yeah, like 1 billion recording yourself every day. Like and like get out of here. I'm sure people think that, you know?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
of
I
course, but
would think
that gets more clicks, right? Like people feel more inclined to click on it. Like, what the fuck is this guy talking about 0 to 1 billion? Okay, yeah,
and I can't really explain like the concept of it the way I just did to you. It's very
hmm
like it's hard to explain very quickly, you know?
yeah, yeah.
But I think it could work, you know? Most billionaires have been created
Of
this
course,
game, and why not me, man?
yeah.
You know, that's but at the very least, if I shoot very high, I'll at least like get somewhere. But obviously you got to work for it, but
hmm
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know, man. I
think
love it.
how long
Love
do
the idea.
you think it will take you? Do you think? Because
That's a good
I think
question.
that's a big question because I think before you answer this, I think Alex Hormozy, you obviously know who that is, right? He's
Yeah, he does M&A. He
yeah,
does
yeah, yeah,
M&A.
exactly. He's got acquisition.com that is his and he's currently at a net worth of 100 million. So
He's more than that, man.
yeah, well,
More than
that's
that.
it's I know it's at least that, but I'm sure it's because his goal is 1 billion, I believe. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So wait. So what's your question?
So how long do you think it would take you to get to 1 billion if you actually like statify it?
I think it would take me one market cycle if I do it right, like
Okay,
from low to high, so like maybe 5, 7 years, 10 years.
okay,
A market cycle. Like right now, we're in the recession, which is a
so
great time to buy businesses
so
in the recession.
yeah,
Yeah. So whenever the market's high, like I'd say 5 years, maybe not a billion, probably 10 years for a billion, somewhere between that, like 5 to 10 years.
yeah, bro. Imagine you get to 1 billion and you're like on like day 1,500, and you're like, boys, well that's like 4 years. You get to like day 3,000, and you just sit there on the camera like, boys, I finally fucking hit 1 billion. Like that would be
Insane.
unreal. That would be so sick.
Like or like you show like your phone and there's like a ton of money. I don't know, like something like that.
Yeah,
That would be insane.
mate, that is the
Imagine,
dream. That is the dream.
dude.
Like
That's what I'm
after
saying.
that
So
long, 3,000 fucking days of
I
daily
read
videos.
I read 4 Hour Work Week. You ever
hmm
read that book?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
He said I read a concept in that book that I've read over and over and over in multiple books after it, and I always hear it. Always hear it.
hmm
It's it's the idea that it's actually a lot easier to do something that's a lot harder than it is to do something that's in the middle,
Yeah.
because there's less people shooting for the thing that's actually that hard. So there's less competition. And not only that, but whenever you're against a hurdle, you're more willing and more patient and more like persistent to figure it out because the reward is actually better.
Yeah.
So it's hard to achieve anything. So if everything's hard, just pick the hardest thing or pick the biggest thing since it's already going to be hard.
I think it works with multiple industries. It's like you're going for a big sale. The person that you close for 50 grand is going to be much more chilled because they're a completely different person to the person that you close for $100 bucks, right? Because $100 guy is like, what the fuck's in for me? Like he's going to be contacting you like, oh fuck, because like the percentage of $100 to the actual net worth is crazy. Whereas the guy that's like splashing 50 grand on some shit, like he doesn't really, he cares, but he doesn't care like that he's in your ear every fucking minute going, yeah, this, what is in it for me? Da, 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 da. So they're almost easier to close because like they don't care, but they do care, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, man. And I used to do two-row, which is like you rent cars. I owned a car and I put it up on a website for people to like rent it, right? That used to be one of my old businesses. Not only that, like in the current sales job I have in the car industry, so many things will teach you that. Like people that actually spend more are easier to deal with and easier to close than the ones who want to haggle you for the small, tiny apps. Actually harder to deal with. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, exactly.
You'll see that ugly girls or like girls that are like mid actually get complimented more than pretty girls.
Bro,
same concept. That's what I think.
It's crazy. It's weird to me how that all works actually. Like,
I don't know.
Does that make sense? The principle kind of applies to everything. I think like the high ones are like almost like the easiest ones to deal with to an extent because first of all the 10s they're not getting as many people going up to them because they're fucking pussies, so no one actually goes up to them. So the mid ones, that's what the ones in the mid range, that's what everyone's trying to approach, to which they all feel like they're all fucking like the most sexy woman in the world because they're getting all the attention, whereas the 10s don't. So these guys are like so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like I would want to see someone do that, like compare the DMs, like go up to 100, like, or like a survey of like 100 really pretty girls versus like girls that are like medium, right?
Yeah.
See their DMs and see like what's the ratio. Like,
I reckon we're 100. I reckon we're 100% right on that. There's no way.
I'm talking about, and again, I'm not talking about like Instagram models. I'm sure like there's outliers, but I'm talking about like the regular people.
Yeah.
They don't have 100,000 followers. I'm talking about everyone has, it's apples to apples. 2,000 followers, 2,000 followers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There was an analogy I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I said this on Twitter the other day, going back to Twitter, but this guy said like, why aren't people approaching like girls anymore? Why there was a TikTok that someone posted, and I was thinking about it. I was like, where am I going with this? The people that are 10s, right? Everyone thinks they're too good for them. They've got no chance. To which no one approaches them. I know I've kind of said this, but I'll rephrase it again. So no one approaches them because they think they've got no chance. So these girls, they get no attention, and they appreciate stuff so much more than the people who are mid that everyone thinks they've got a chance with. To which they're the ones getting all the attention. So I was trying, like, there was something I was going to say to link these all together, and it makes fucking sense. It kind of works with every single area of life, whether it's business, whether anything, it's girls, it's business, it's like the guys at the top, no one thinks they've got a fucking chance to work with them, to which no one's outreaching to them. Like, I can guarantee you, no one's outreaching to fucking, I don't know, Sony Music and shit, right? To do whatever for them. But all the cunts in the middle, all the guys in the middle, these little fucking businesses that have got like a little bit of cash flow, these guys are getting all the fucking cold DMs. So it's the same principle everywhere. It's kind of mad like that.
What if you shoot for the bigger clients, man? How about that?
Yeah, like shoot for the bigger clients. You've just got to, if you want to do that, you've just got to stand out, because like hot girls, of course, like you'll message them, they'll see it, right, or whatever. But You've got to stand out.
Still gotta
You
be
can't
good
just
enough, yeah.
you can't just sit there as some fucking bum who jacks off in his room every day and doesn't leave his house, like messaging
No, that's not
tens.
what I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah,
Know what you mean. Know what you mean, man. But you know what's crazy? Okay, me and you, we're just some people just saying like random stuff. But don't take it from me. Do not take it from me. Take it from Steven Schwartzman. Take it from Tim Ferriss.
yeah,
Take it
yeah,
from all these people that have done big things in their lives. They all say that same exact principle. Even that guy, the guy I told you about from the law firm, he told me the same
yeah,
exact thing, man. Grant Cardone says it. I remember Grant Cardone said back in 2008, the recession like hit, and he was really struggling with real estate. Like he like barely like barely made it out the recession, right? He was saying like, man, I was just thinking too small. Like it takes the same effort to do something big. They all say it. Don't take it from me, man. Do your own research, but I'm telling you, this is true. It is. It even makes sense alone.
mm,
So yeah, man.
yeah.
I mean, let me shoot you a question, right? What would it take for you to quit? Like, how long are you willing to record every day until you hit your goal?
I think my goal has got a much smaller barrier to entry than yours does. So,
Your camera's paused,
I
by the way.
is it?
Yeah, like turn it on and off real quick.
You
Go
see
ahead.
it? You good? You good?
Yeah. You're
Um.
good.
So yeah, mine's got a low barrier to entry. So realistically, it's all down to me to get to my goal. Like I've said this on my video so many times, but if I was to outreach to, let's say, fucking 20,000 people, all I've got to do realistically is say I'm closing them for 2.5k or whatever. I only have to close 4 of them out of those 20,000 outreach DMs. So it's not down to luck. It's down to actually how much input I can put in to what I want to get out. So
So yeah, that's interesting.
if for me to not get to my goal, I've just fucking failed for being a lazy prick. It's as simple as that. Like I've actually got to do it. It's that simple to get to 10k a month. It's not actually that hard to do. You've just got to be willing to do it. Really.
So okay, let's do some math, right? If you do cold DM outreach, like let's just say you do an insane campaign and you don't give an F anymore, like you don't care no more, right?
Yeah.
You're just gonna go all out. If you buy 10 domains, 10, which is a lot, right?
Yeah. That's yeah.
Buy 10 domains and you get 3 emails under each domain. So 3 emails. And each email does like 50 emails a day. That's 150 for each domain times 10. That's 1,500 a day. So in like 10 to 20 days, you could outreach everyone, and then you could recycle, and you could reach out to the co-owner and the co-workers and the managers.
Yeah.
You
And
could
do
go
follow-ups
insane.
as well. And follow-ups as well.
Yeah, like
Everything. Yeah.
that's it. So it just comes down to 10 domains, you know,
Yeah.
like simplify.
hmm
Maybe that's what it is.
It's just down to inputs, right? It's like yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, then same question for you. Like, what's your biggest hurdle right now, you'd say?
In regards to getting to 10k, I guess so.
Yeah, yeah.
I think my biggest hurdle is outreaching because it's very time consuming and doing it on your own, on my own. So I either hire people on a commission basis, or I hire some Filipino guy to do it for me and
I
just
say
get the
this is
leads
what I
for
think.
me.
That's what I think, and you don't have to listen to me because
No, bro. I'm so open to anyone. I'm not one of those guys with like the biggest ego in the world. It's like, nah, I'm fucking right. Don't fucking listen to these guys. So yeah,
Either way,
yeah, go.
Either way, like I wouldn't ever want to tell someone to do it. Just take this as an idea, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would think if that's really my problem, right? And that's really what I have to fix. I would do Phantom Buster, outreach, Twitter, Instagram, and do an insane email campaign. Boom, and I'm going insane. I'm spending money. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like that's it. Like I don't care about my money. I'm going on credit if I have to, but I'm going insane on my outreach.
Yeah,
You know?
because I think
That's-
that'll work though. Then it's just being a good it's being a good salesman. As long as you can close them on the calls.
Then it's the next problem, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you gotta
Yeah,
hire
yeah.
a salesman on commission, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, there. It's just building on problems. You fix one, you get another one.
Exactly.
But it's a good problem to
Exactly.
have because I'll be at 10k a month. So
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how I think of it. Okay, I solved problem number 1. I got my outreach. I'm getting appointments. Okay. Problem number 2. Problem 3. And the bigger your problems, the more money you're making.
yeah,
Problems are good.
yeah, yeah.
Actually, really good. You want problems. Bigger problems you solve, the more money you make. That's Elon Musk that said that, not even me.
Yeah, that it's facts, man. I just gotta fucking do it, man. Or as simple as that. I just gotta fucking put the hours in.
Man, listen, tomorrow, you buy 10 domains. Do the campaigns. You buy 10 of them. Spend $200. You do the emails and the campaigns and all the software. You're not going to spend more than $200.
But I've got to find the leads. That's the hardest part. Like finding influencer leads as opposed to just brands on Apollo or whatever. That's the hardest part. So I've got to pay someone like from the Philippines to do that.
Yeah, sure. And I would recommend if you want to do that, definitely interview them. I want to
Yeah.
interview all of them. Okay, show me how you're going to get me this lead. Then hire like a bunch of them. You want to expand it, man, as much as you can. Like go insane and just what happens if I just go insane? Like what do you think would happen? Like be curious enough to find out.
Yeah. Well, I think the chances that it doesn't work out from going insane is like fucking nothing. Like there's no way it doesn't work. If you get your face in front of as many people as like a shit ton of people, there's no way it doesn't work. Yeah.
If you do 20,000 emails, it doesn't work, man.
Yeah.
That's like,
bro, I said this in my video yesterday. I was like, yeah, sorry, oh, my camera's gone all blurry, but it doesn't matter. It will fix itself out. But yeah, if you were to go and send like 20, if you send 150 DMs a day, oh, no, sorry, 250 DMs a day for 90 days, right? 90 days. You have then sent 22,500 DMs. All you've got to do, like depending on the lifetime value of each client, right, or how much you're charging, to get to whatever your goal is, you just work out how much you're charging per person, and then like from that 22,500 people, you just close 4 of them for like easy numbers, 2.5k a month. You're at 10k, but you're not gonna close 4 from 22,500 people. You're gonna close fucking loads. So it's about just putting in that input, and you're gonna get the output back.
you know what's crazy? Some people like they're almost doing like a Ponzi scheme. Like they do a ton of emails to get the customer, or acquire like the client, right? They do a bunch of emails to acquire the client, and then when they get the client, they do a bunch of emails to acquire customers for the client. And all they're doing, the whole entire thing is just emails. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like a pyramid scheme almost.
Yeah, it's kind of mad. It's quite a lot. It just depends. You've just got to choose the right business model at that point, really.
Yeah. I think if I was doing an agency, number one agency I would do, and don't even take this from me, take it from Alex Hermosi. He's literally said the same thing. I would do an agency that helps private equity companies, and not only private equity companies, also help people like myself, right? Like buy businesses. Because those agencies, man, they make shit money. I had a meeting the other day, or it was like a week ago, with someone who had an agency, and he was going to help me find deals. And the way he structures his business is so interesting, man. If I really just like gave up, I think I would do an agency for that.
Yeah. What agency for your
like,
business model? Yeah.
M&A basically.
Yeah.
Because the way they structure it isn't like a retainer. It's like they'll do an upfront fee, and it'll take a certain amount of time for them to get you a deal, right? But once the deal closes is when they make the money. Because the way the one guy I talked to structured it, he would charge 5% of the first $1 million of the transaction, 4% of the second million, and 3% of all the money after it. So I know for a fact, someone I connected with on LinkedIn, he used that guy's service, and he bought a business for $8 million. So on $8 million, that agency from one client made almost $350,000.
And that's just from that is literally the epitome of an overnight success. It looks like an overnight success, but it's all that work that's gone in before it, and then it just fucking clicks, and you've got 350 grand in your bank account.
Yeah. You're not losing money because you're charging them up front with like an upfront fee, and then now you're just waiting for the thing to happen.
Yeah.
The dude, he has an agency. He hires people from, I think it was the Philippines as well, or some overseas country. They lead source, they email, they cold call. They qualify the lead on the sales call, and they literally hand the deal over to the person, and they make money. And one of the newest billionaires. When I was studying the list, there's this billionaire. He's in Japan. He kind of has this agency for M&A. But I don't know how he does it. He has like some kind of AI integration into that. He's one of the newest billionaires in Japan
Wow.
because Japan has a lot of M&A transactions.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in AI, man. Then people are just waking up
Yeah,
to it. You just got to know what you're doing.
more so like M&A, man. He's that Japanese guy I'm telling you about. He makes 5% of every M&A transaction. So if you conduct $100 million acquisition, you're making $5 million from one transaction. That's the
So,
kind of agency I would
so,
look into.
bro, that is the epitome of the fucking shovel analogy that you said earlier. It's the same thing.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it works everywhere. It's there, everywhere.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah. I wonder what the shovel will be for AI, man. There has to be a shovel for AI.
Yeah, I guess you're the one that makes the thing for them. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
maybe
the
maybe you make
computer
the chip.
scientists. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe the raw material like the cobalt or I don't know. Like I've tried to think about it. Like not only AI. What's the other one? There's a lot of trends like Bitcoin. What's
Hmm.
the shovel for Bitcoin? You know what's a great shovel analogy? I have a friend he's really good at SEO, like search engine
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
optimization, like he does keywords on Google and shit, right? And during 2021, when there was a crypto insane frenzy, he would do affiliate marketing deals with these crypto exchanges, right?
Yep.
And he would rank for the top listings for all these different exchanges, and people would sign up under his link. He gets a percentage of every fee of a transaction conducted by the people he brings in.
Wow.
So for years after it, he was making like 5, 10 grand a month on autopilot.
Just from the work that you did before. That's crazy.
Yeah, because he sold the shovel for
Hmm.
crypto. He didn't do anything in crypto. He literally sold the shovel during that time.
Yeah. That's
And then the shovel.
you. It's like it's the shovel analogy, but also it's the same kind of framework with sales. When you go into a sales call and you kind of build the gap, and then you position yourself as the bridge from their current situation to the desired one. It's like you're putting yourself
Yeah,
there. It's the kind of same kind of thing. You want to be that person that's getting someone from A to B. So I guess it is literally sales, but you've got to be the person that gets them from where they want to get to, where they are to where they want to get to, and you're the only
absolutely.
option that they have to get there. So yeah, it's kind of mad. I think it kind of I haven't thought of it that deeply, but it's kind of shifted my worldview honestly because like shovels are like almost the most valuable things. Yeah, you want the gold,
Hey,
but like
you're cutting in and
yeah.
out.
Oh, sorry.
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Wait, say something. Say
Hello,
testing.
hello. Testing, testing, testing.
I don't know what happened, man.
Can you hear me now?
Your voice is like it's like robotic.
I'm fucking. There you go. Back. Hello. I just why's my camera fucked? Hello. Hello. Nah, this is crazy. By the way, guys, while we're sorting this out, you can subscribe to Meckdad. Link top of the description. Also, you can subscribe to my weekly newsletter if you want to. Also in the description. So check that out. We're every Wednesday at 2 p.m. But yeah, if you want to subscribe to Meckdad, link is in the description and the comments. I'll put it there as well while he tries to sort his mic out, and you can see my face in full screen.
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're back in,
Cool. I gave you a little shout out while you were gone.
man. Now go ahead. Continue what you're saying, man. I have a point to that. You were saying
No,
like
no, no.
something
You.
about world.
Yeah. No, no, no. I don't know how. I think the people on the people on the stream heard me, so it'll be okay. Because I'm coming through on there, but yeah, you go and say what you were saying.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man, like something that one of my biggest struggles is the fact of like the people I'm around all the time, like mainly like the job I work at, because I'm at this job, but everyone in there doesn't think like me at all. It's very hard to relate, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But speaking with someone like who is open to the idea, who's curious enough, who's like we're at least on the same page when it comes to that. Like I
Yeah.
enjoy talking about it so much when it comes to that. Like there's not that many people that I could really speak to about it, you know?
Yeah, no, you too, man. Honestly, I've up until like this series kind of changed my life because it's networked with me with so many different people. Like I wouldn't be speaking to you right now had I not uploaded these videos. I wouldn't be speaking to half of the people that I know now, in other regards, because if I hadn't uploaded these videos. So it's kind of like got my face out there, and now I'm speaking to people who are like-minded like me, which I don't know about you, but I didn't have that before. I just had my friends from school, and that was kind of it. So yeah, it's
I know
good.
I networked a little bit too from it. I think in this space, if you just have 10K on YouTube, just in this space, 10K, it would really network you pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Would it? Just 10K.
Yeah, I mean, you could even
I would
outreach to
want to.
people and just say, just kind of, you'd have credibility because of your follow account, right? So
Exactly, right?
yeah,
I want to grow my other like Instagram, LinkedIn, like have all of it, man. Oh my God, it probably makes things so much easier.
yeah. No, I'd love to have. I tell you what, if I want to grow one, uh, I'd say YouTube first, then Instagram, then Twitter, then everything else after that.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in Twitter, man. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
but it sounds like I need to get into it, but I don't know how I grow on
It
there. Like I
depends.
don't want to keep tweeting
Yeah,
all day.
I
I don't
don't
want to be on
think.
there all day.
I think it's more of just for you. I don't think you get much value from it, to be honest.
There's a lot of M&A people on Twitter though. I'm not gonna lie. I've heard
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
a lot of
yeah. You can network with
yeah.
people. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. Oh, I mean, what do you do at your job if you don't mind me asking? Like, what? Obviously, you do sales, but how does that kind of work?
Yeah, so I basically like what do you mean?
How does you said you do sales at your job? Kind of elaborate on sales, if you like. Like, how does it work at
Yeah.
your job?
Yeah, so I basically get customers that are looking for whatever construction, whether it's commercial or residential, um, and whether it's like a flooring job or here I'm gonna connect my camera again.
Okay.
Whether it's like a flooring job or whether they need paint or like or whatever they kind of need. Most of the time it's flooring. I'm not gonna lie. Or like, if it's roofing, we don't really work with roofing.
Mhm.
But if they need some kind of flooring job, usually that's what I'm dealing with. So I know like all the details when it comes to like
Yeah.
small construction things like leveling the floors and plenty patch and clips and tile and laminate and vinyl and hardwood, engineered wood, like all the little details of construction. Like I know about that, and the people come to me and they're kind of having problems when it comes to that. And most of the time, people aren't just like shopping around when it comes to construction. You know, like
Mhm.
they want to get something done.
Yeah. How does
So
how does it work in regards to, like, do you take calls? You call people? How does
no, no,
that?
no. There's no cold calls. It's
Okay.
that's the best part about it. It's really you're really spoon fed, man. Like
So you just got warm leads just coming
walk-ins,
at you. Yeah,
calls.
yeah, yeah.
Like people call in, people walk in, people give you leads. You know, like I'm not cold calling.
That's quite nice. That's pretty quite refreshing, actually.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like, yeah, as you say, spoon feeding. All you got to do is just be like, yeah, so we can do this for you. Which one do you like? Okay, yeah, we can do this for you. And it's just, well, yeah, cool.
I mean, yeah, it's not that simple though. Like you can't be a
Yeah, yeah, of course,
cashier,
of course.
but some people like at the job could be a cashier and they'll do fine. You
Yeah.
know?
That's a pretty. Is it? Would you say? Does it get stressful, or like, do
Yeah,
you
man.
worry about not having enough clients, or how does that kind of work?
Yeah, yeah, I do. But I don't really complain about my stress. You know, like it is what it is. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm still new at the job. I actually just got this job recently.
Okay.
Um, I used to do Uber before it, and I'm not gonna lie, like I miss doing Uber. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie,
Yeah. I've heard Uber's quite fun to do, man.
man, because I would just work at night and I would do my business all day. I would have so
Yeah.
much more time.
How were the
Like,
hours when you were doing Uber? Like, how did it work? Give
so
us
Uber,
an average 24-hour period doing Uber.
I would try to make $200 to $300 a day from Uber,
Wow.
and however long that would take me. You could work up to 12 hours a day on Uber. Sometimes I'll try to hit 12 hours a day every day and work on my business. Because if you structure your day right, you could do all that. Like you're
Hmm.
working massively hard, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I miss doing Uber. I wish I could still do it.
That's
But yeah.
I don't. How does So this is kind of off topic, right? Well, it's not off topic, but off topic of like this kind of video. How does Uber work? Like, because you've obviously got to pay for fuel and like, what's the kind of like upmark on Uber and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, it really depends on a lot of things, man. Like I guess you're asking like how much do you get paid off of what, right?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. So
You don't
hold
get
on.
paid for gas.
So if I buy a $5, nah, let's just say $10 for easy numbers. I buy a $10 Uber ride. How much of that do you get?
It depends on the time of the day, and it depends on your location. Like in
Oh, really?
Texas, Uber can make as much as they want in Texas, but in Canada, I think they could only make like 30%. You know,
Okay.
it depends really. Um, but yeah, like it depends on the time of the day. Like sometimes, if you pay like $12 for a ride, I might make like 10, I might make like 6 or 5. It depends.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
But yeah, you
So
just gauge it off of like how long it takes, how far is it, those kind of things.
so you do Uber for like 10 to 12 hours a day. I'm guessing around that, and
Yeah.
then you'd get back and you just work on your M&A stuff.
I would work on my M&A stuff in the morning, and then from like 12 p.m. all the way until like 12 at night, I would just be working.
Wow. Okay. So how much sleep were you getting every night? Would you say?
Dude, I wasn't sleeping. Like I, not only in the M&A, but like some of the businesses I did in the past, like I would stay up like multiple nights. I would stay up overnight to work. Um, a lot of days during the Uber times, like I was fully maximized for work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would be working a lot of hours. One of my videos, I titled it 22-hour day.
Wow.
It was actually more than that because I stayed up over 24 hours, but within that, I don't know how I counted it, man. It was like 36 hours because I was up for 2 days,
Mhm.
something like that. And you know what's funny? You know, the Lee Brandt kid, the other kid
Yeah.
we talked
Danny Lee
about.
Rent. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was hating on some of my videos, man. He was saying
No
like,
way.
this kid's not. He was saying like this kid's not working 22 hours, bullshitting.
Where did he say
He
that?
said
Was it in the replies or?
no, he was saying in his videos.
Oh. Oh shit. Yeah, because he was. I don't know when I started. I think he was like day 14 when I did day one or something like that. So yeah, he must have been doing videos still for like 2 weeks after I started. Then he stopped. He's not cut out for us. He's not cut out for it like we when you are, eh?
Yeah, man. I wish him best of luck, but
Yeah, yeah, of course.
it is what it is. I don't even blame him, man. I know most people think that, it is what it is. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to be fake. This is how I think. I'm willing to work. If I fail, at the very least, it'll be entertaining.
yeah. At
So
least you
stop
know you
complaining.
tried. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
like no one should be complaining.
how much growth have you got since you started your series, by the way? Like, how's that? How have you kind of been doing there?
So when I started my series, I had a full board of directors. Like I had like 6 people on my board. And
Mhm.
I was reaching out to law firms and accounting firms, and I completely switched my strategy. So I had to rebuild my board, and then after that, I had to start doing outreach. So I
Mhm.
started outreaching businesses like mid-December, somewhere about that. So it's been
Okay.
like a month.
Okay.
Yeah,
What? And
I've
you're.
been looking at deals and stuff.
Mhm.
So I haven't really grown like in terms of like tangible results, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But your
the
to be
process.
in all honesty, your thing isn't like consistent, like closing once a week kind of thing, closing once a month. It's a process, right? You don't just close like every other day. Like you work towards a
Yeah.
deal and you close that deal. It's yeah. So
Yeah, and there's a lot of figuring out, man. Like a lot of things to figure out on your own, so it takes time.
mm. what what's the tax like with it actually? How does that kind of work?
Like for me or for the business owner.
Uh, for you, I guess.
So taxes on for me, it depends what you're making. So if I buy a business that's making however much profit, whatever profit I report to the IRS, I pay whatever amount of tax on that, Depends on how
Yep.
much you report. You know what's interesting actually? This might help you and whoever's watching too. Whenever it comes to selling a business, man, you don't wanna f with your tax returns. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of people that they'll write off a lot of things in their business. But whenever it comes for someone like me to buy your business, I'm gonna see your tax returns and you're gonna show me a business that makes 1.6 million in revenue. I literally had a deal like this recently. I saw a business. It was making like 1.7 million in revenue in 1 year, 1.6, 1.5, right? And it was reporting zero profit. It was reporting like 20 grand profit.
Because of tax returns.
So, yeah, because they
Yeah.
fuck with their tax returns.
Yeah.
So if you're showing the IRS that you make no money, when I'm gonna try to buy your business, I'm gonna see that you make no money, and I'm not gonna buy your business. If you're relying on the tax returns that you're willing to lie to the government, why would I trust you?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, that's the same dynamic as I said. It's like they've got to trust you to buy it, and you've got to trust them to actually be who they say they are.
Exactly, and that's how you know the people that like write off everything under the business. They're kind of amateur like business owners. Like the real
Mm-hmm.
businesses that make real money, they pay taxes. If you're
Yeah.
making enough money, you won't complain about paying taxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So if you're complaining, just know like, dude, you need to make more money.
yeah,
That's how I
that's a good thing for the viewers. If you're complaining, don't complain about the taxes. Complain about yourself. Get your fucking head down and get some more money, pal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so the taxes for me, the main part is the taxes on the owner. So whenever the owner is buying the business, they have to pay a capital gains tax, which
Yep.
is like a large sum. If I pay them $1 million for their business and that's how much they earn, they have to pay a chunk of that million to the IRS or the government or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people try to avoid that, and that's why even seller finance could help you because it helps you avoid paying the tax whenever you sell.
Yeah.
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 So taxes are very interesting too. There's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to that.
It's a whole different world, man. Honestly,
Yeah, man.
it's interesting,
I'm not gonna lie, it was a good conversation, but I have to get going.
bro.
A couple things I need to take care of.
Yeah, don't worry, man. It's 3:30 in the morning with me, bro. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Crazy. That's
Committed to the grind, though, eh? So we're okay.
crazy. Yeah, man.
But yeah, no, it was good. It was good talking. It was good. I feel I don't know how many people are still watching now, but I mean I've learned like so much information from this, and yeah, I think I have, and I think the viewers will have done as well. So yeah, I think it's been a good day 103, day 109 for you, and yeah, man.
Yeah, no, this is like 110 for me.
110.
I did 100. I did 109. This is 110.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, if you're watching at this point, man, comment in my comment section. Comment Oli, OLI.
Yeah.
Watching at this point and put it in capitals because we have a thing in our channel where if you type in capitals, it means like you're in on it. But if you're typing like regular, like we know like you're not part of the channel, you know.
Okay. Well, I'll say the same thing. If you're watching this right now on my channel, I want you to go in the comments and comment Meckdad full caps Meckdad, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
my name.
So go comment that. I'll put his channel in the description, and I'll also put it as the pinned comment in the comments. So please go and check him out. He's doing similar videos to myself, probably a lot more insightful than mine because mine are a bit. They include a lot of waffle, as you know, but yeah.
Man, don't discount yourself, man.
No, yeah, my video's alright, but I can talk quite a bit. I'm quite good at that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, don't discount yourself, but it is what it is.
Appreciate
You're
it.
gonna send me the recording, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sure.
cool.
All
Well,
right, man.
well, I'll end the video. I'll end the little. We call it a podcast stream, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, well, hold on. Yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. I'm just making sure it's still recording. We're 2 hours 18. Yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Again, Meckdad's stuff is going to be in the description in the comment section. Please go and subscribe to him and drop a like on the video and show him some love. Appreciate all of you. And yeah, that's day 103 wrapped up. And
Thank you.
cheers. We'll see you tomorrow night. Cheers. Good night.